What time are we finishing?
Well, we'll see.
Half past seven.
7. hello, and welcome to the second
And welcome.
the second escapade. I think is the right one.
Behind you to tell you something I know nothing about.
Oh, what was it? What's the rest of that?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh yeah. So anyway, we normally play a game called Mithras, but we have sort of like dropped down to D&D 5th edition, and we started this adventure while myself and Medivac were dressed as witches, and on Halloween, and we had a little cat down in the corner that is now being filled by my hype boss, and a glass just next door to Chuggerwugger there. Because he's right on the end at the moment. And so we've come back and we thought we would try to finish today's adventure before going back to Mithras in order to just sort of like tie some loose ends up before we progress. So I'm going to allow the players an opportunity to tell you all who they are, and also who they will be playing tonight. And we'll start, as always, with the person right the way over at the end next to the glass, which is Mr. Chuggerwugger. And Medivac, have you moved your camera? Because you're now nearly into...
I'll move it again. I seem to... Yeah, I'll change it.
It's always one, and it's always in.
Right.
Sees the light in the mug.
Now
That's what I saw. I see it's both now.
You've actually gone completely the opposite way now. I can't see you at all. Okay, just too close, too close. I'll adjust it. Chuggerwugger, introduce your character.
I mean, it was Halloween last time we played, and I was in fancy dress as well. There wasn't just two of you; there was me as well. I was there in fancy dress.
What are you dressed as?
Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester. Oh yeah.
Yes. Hello. Good evening, and welcome. I'm Chuggerwugger. I am playing a character called Obadiah. He is a rogue, a thief. He's a fairly nasty man, to be honest with you. He's very tall, gaunt, high cheekbones, sunken eyes, thin lips. He likes inflicting pain, particularly on women and children, if he can get away with it. He's not the nicest apple in the barrel, to be honest with you. He's not really at home in this house. He would prefer to be in the city, stealing, raping, those types of things. But yeah, money's good, and he might get to meet the person's mother that we're looking for at the end of the adventure. So he's looking forward to that. And I should pass on to Longshanks CPG.
Hi guys, I'm Longshanks CPG. Tonight I am playing a bard called Felix von Founder, and I totally didn't have to look at my character sheet to remember his name. He is fairly young, good looking, immaculately dressed. Personality-wise, he has no attention span. So he will start looking at something and then get completely distracted and run off in the complete opposite direction. And he's got as many lives as a cat. And I will pass it on to Mr. Pickles.
I am Mr. Pickles. If I'm not muted, I'm certainly not. I'm Mr. Pickles, and I play the barbarian of our group, old Peter, going down the path of a berserker, and kind of contrasting that. It's old Peter's a hopeless romantic, looking for that special someone. He's pretty obviously jealous of Felix, I think, by the love of performance and wanting to be famous and being a sucker for a pretty face. But that's old Peter. He likes to break things, and that's his performance. Throwing the microphone on over to Medivac.
Why, thank you, sir. Hello, everybody. I'm Medivac, and I'm playing Dominic, a cleric who is a little bit sad with life. He's seen too many people die around him, too many of his friends and groups and people he's been helping pass away just for no reason whatsoever. just died for their own folly, really, I suppose. And he's fed up with things, and he wants things to turn around, but he just can't get the break. And he's hoping with this group he is going to just break this little trend of going out with people, watching them die, and going back on his own. You know, what we said about being the lone survivor every time. He's got his fast trainers on. He wants this to work. He wants to be able to help people without them dying of their own accord. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, he's a lovely chap. So with that, I shall pass on to Wills, our GM tonight.
Yeah, I do think that the party's also hoping that your bad luck will change, you know, and they will actually survive to
You're not a very good cleric if everybody keeps dying around you.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't die.
His luck will change either one way or the other. Either we will live, or he'll kill.
Yeah.
I'm not very clever.
Okay then, so let's do a quick synopsis. So you were in a tavern in the middle of the town when you were approached by a wizard who has his apprentice's parents coming round tomorrow, i.e. at dawn. And he sort of like expressed to you that he had sent the apprentice up to the haunted manor in order to prove his worth. And unfortunately, the apprentice hasn't come back. So you were hired by various means, I think. I think you had a choice whether or not you had magical items. You did it from the love of the general people, or money, or something like that, and you all sort of like headed off to the manor. If you remember, the ground round about it was dead and blackened, and there was a fierce storm brewing, and rain was pelting down left, right, and centre. You came to the front door, and if you remember correctly, as you arrived at the door, there were some windows on either side, and you saw what appeared to be two bright blue eyes glaring through it. You couldn't bash your way through the door, and I think Obadiah, you went round and checked the windows but couldn't see anything there at all, and you were almost like given up, and you turned and walked away, and as you walked away the doors went and sort of like opened. If you remember, when you first went in, you encountered some gargoyles that you dealt with quite effectively, and the door shut behind you. You also, I don't know if you can remember, there was a green like sofa, and there was another creature there like a griffin. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Do you really?
Our bard investigated it for quite a while, if I recall.
Yeah.
Stared at it because he was mesmerized.
Yeah, if you remember. Anyway, so you went there. I'm just trying to find the image for you. Can you remember this?
Yes.
Okay, that's what was up on the. Okay, so and then you came through up at the top of the map, if you remember correctly. You actually found there was a set of stairs going up, and the top room was like set out to be like a dining room, if you remember. And there was sort of like stuff on the table, and that was when the chandelier fell, if you remember that. And then you came further down, and in the room below that was when there was that green man stood at the front of the table, and then everybody approached you, and you managed to come into this final room. Here was when, if you remember, there was some people that arrived, and just to remind you of it, if you remember, there was a beautiful woman there. Do you remember that at all?
Yes.
And then what was happening is that the man said that there was a guy that appeared and basically said,
You don't belong here.
We will disappear. No, that was the guy at the top of the table. We will disappear, just the two of us, my love, the man says dreamily. Oh, General, but what of your wife? And we have work to do, she reminded him. Never mind her. She will cope. And your army of undead. Let us not talk of this tonight, he replies. And then the apparition faded and the room again was empty. You then headed off. Outside, if you remember, the doors open and there was this murky pool. And I think old Pete and Dominic, you went round the opposite side, I think. And up from the depths of the pool came a beholder. Eye of the Beholder, which splattered out rays and damage left, right and centre, and you eventually did kill it after old Pete actually made a really good save against a disintegration ray, if I remember correctly. And yeah, and then you were all sort of like happy as Larry, and I can't open my combat tracker for some unknown reason. I don't know why that's not coming. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Did they not go round to the other end because there was a sword?
Yes, there was. and yes, you then managed to kill it. Actually had 93 hit points, which was really good. Obadiah and old Pete, you seem to have some temporary hit points. Is that right? Obadiah, you have 3, and
yes, I have 2.
Yeah.
It looks like.
I can only assume it was from some type of spell.
Yes, I think it was from Felix. Did a spell. I noticed that Felix has actually got an effect of invisibility on him at the moment, which is quite clever.
No, I clicked the button experimenting when we started tonight, and I thought by pressing it again it would turn it off, but it hasn't.
But no, you're now doubly invisible.
Yeah. Right. I will work on that. We'll see how it goes.
I saw like a person figure with 3 crosses on it, and one of the buttons. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Didn't you manage to make it
invisible?
worse?
I will.
It always amazes me when people just randomly click things just to see what.
I'm a man, I
Don't
don't
push
need
the red button.
Whatever you do not push the red button.
Do not push. Why?
Let's see.
If I push it again, will it count? Stop it.
I'm trying to see where it actually puts it, but I can't see at all.
I might look on my character sheet.
Pass. Oh, never mind.
So these little stairs that we've been going up, they've only been sort of like going up to a raised bit. They haven't been main stairs going up, have they?
Hang on.
No, I can't ping.
The stairs up at the top.
Well, no. So we came up through the path. We came through the doors.
Yeah, these.
And then there was the gargoyles.
Yeah.
And then there's some stairs going up into the next room. Those were sort of like 3 stairs, weren't they?
Yeah, those were just sort of like little steps going up.
Stairs going down. So have we seen, because outside this was what, a 2-story house?
Yeah, so if you remember, but I will put one on. Can you see there?
So those are the stairs up to the next level.
Yes, but the other thing that you are somewhat puzzled about is that if you look at your general map, if you remember, Obadiah, you actually went round most of the front of the house. And this entrance, if you imagine the entrance was probably into the middle of the house, it looked like there was this south wing that you sort of like gone in and down. But you know for definite that there was elsewhere another ring. So if you notice out here, let me just point. Can you see here? So you haven't ventured into that area at all. Yeah, I've got rid of your invisibility.
Thanks.
If you go, can you see the combat tracker?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. If you look on it, there's sort of like a head with little sort of like dots around the top. If you click on that, it puts the effects in there, and there's a little add button to do it, and then you can delete it afterward, and then just click.
See the combat tracker.
If
Click
you
the
go,
little sword at the top right-hand corner.
yeah.
Yep. I just found it.
Oh yes.
I'm going to sound like I knew it was there all the time. Oh yes, it's at the top. Right.
Okay. So yeah, so that's where you are, and
So if those were stairs, was there a doorway just to the right of those stairs then?
you try to use the pointer and
Where's
show
the
me.
pointer?
So if you right click on the map to bring up the
All right. Pointers. Draw arrow. There.
so those were the steps. That was a spiral staircase going up. So that was a spiral staircase going up. No, I think that's going down. Actually, that was a set of stairs going down, I think.
How do you get rid of a pointer?
If you go onto it
Yeah.
and click pointers again, and then you have the option to delete it.
Remove this. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just checking. Yeah, that goes down.
See, oh no, this is on the wrong way. I thought those were the stairs going up.
Okay, let me just check. I think they go both up and down. Can you
Right.
see? So
So that's not a door there. Going into the other wing.
no. That part there will go up and one will go down. So just imagine it's a spiral staircase going up and down around it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay then. I'll just
So,
move down. I'm going to remove the beholder because I think we can safely say that he's dead. Yep.
so from what Obadiah's seen so far, coming to this part of the mansion, there was no visible way into the other part of the ground floor.
Not that you've seen, no.
Right. And there's no other doors that we've walked that we haven't been through on this level.
Correct. No, on the doors that you have seen.
Was this over here? Oh, what the hell have I done there? Right click, pointer. Okay, on the bottom bit opposite where we are now, or where I am, what is that, like a fireplace, or is that another double doors there? On the opposite where I am. So
It's a fireplace.
fireplace, thank you.
You mean this?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a fireplace. Yeah.
Wonderful, thank you.
Yeah, so Obadiah, you're still in the room. I think you were firing crossbow bolts,
I
were
fired
you?
a crossbow bolt. Yeah, well, he's going to put away his crossbow, and he's currently sort of like looking around the room, as if to try to work out away into the next into the next section of it.
Just to let you know, Obadiah and Dominic and old Pete, you're actually outside. Remember at this point, and this is like yeah. So you're getting rather wet at the moment, but old Pete's just sort of like there. He's sort of like up to his halfway up his calves. If you remember that, it was like a dirty black. Almost like hot tub that's been festering for some time, and Obadiah, old Pete, if you remember, you stepped into it to fight the beholder, but as a prize, you now have a wonderful flame-tongued sword that you are wielding around quite efficiently. We're going to say, for the sake of argument, normally you would have to do an identify spell to get the word of it, but just for the sake of this game, we'll say that you can make up the word that you want to say, as long as it's not flame on, and that's a little bit that's a little yeah.
I think it should be it's clobbering time.
Scotchio.
So you
I think on that one.
Yeah, you got plenty of time, until you sort of like.
Obadiah's heading out into this outside bit.
Yeah, so you sort of like step outside and you notice that it's raining out here, and old Pete and Dominic look quite bedraggled.
You can't see any lights from the other part of the mansion. I know it's shuttered. Some of the windows are shuttered, but looking over to where I am now, so looking over into it's on the wrong thing. That direction. Yeah.
So you can see the second, the sort of like the east wing there, and you can see it's 2 stories high, but everything seems to be shuttered, and there's maybe a few shutters higher up that are sort of like banging in the wind, and the rain as it sort of like cascades down, and every now and again there's that wonderful flash of lightning that sort of like illuminates the whole area. But
and coming down here and looking out that way,
that's definitely the edge of the house,
right?
So there's nothing beyond the almost like the base of the map, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
So that bottom edge, the southern edge, is the edge of the property or the building. The property does go further on, and then if you remember, it's surrounded by that wrought iron fence.
Right.
That's just like railings.
What can I remember about the entranceway? Not through the main. Do you know the main door?
Yeah.
Where the 2 statues were that came alive.
Yeah, in the sort of like the foyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you remember, it was like a large open space, and
what can I remember about the actual walls? Was it wooden panelled or anything like that?
It just looked like wooden panels throughout. If you remember, the floor was black marble, and it was almost like reflecting everything off it, right, and things like that.
Obadiah's going to say, there must be a way into the other wing of this mansion.
Perhaps it's a secret way?
Why would you have a secret way into a house, though? I mean, it's not exactly hidden, is it? I mean, look, you can look over there and you can see it. What's the point of having something secret like that?
Sort of thing that these houses have?
Well, it's not really going to confuse a thief, though, is it? Let's have a secret way into a part of a mansion that everybody can see a mile off.
Well, have we Have we checked behind the tapestries and things?
We've got two options, haven't we? We have a look for another way in, or we head up to the next level. I'm beginning to think this boy might not be worth our trouble.
Well, I think he still needs saving, doesn't he? Because, you know, boys today, they get into all kinds of trouble, so, you know, let's go get him and see if we can get him out with his old ticker still beating.
Old Pete's just going. with this,
Can't hurt to look upstairs though.
yeah.
You notice
take a
Felix
look
has got
around.
bored. You notice Felix has got bored and he started to wander off again. He's wandering, sort of like he's peeking round the corner. of the
Do you
door.
have? Are you carrying the light source?
He's got a light source, yeah.
Yeah. Okay then.
And he's like just peeking around the corner to see into the dining room to see if the ghosts are still there.
Yeah. Who actually has the light sources then? Because I know there was a spell cast. Who?
Well,
I cast a spell on my hammer, which is on my belt, so my hammer is
Okay,
kind
then.
of like glowing from my belt.
Cool.
what I was going to do was cast a light cantrip for people on either weapons or an item, so everybody can have a bit of light. Would that help? That gives an hour of light. For everybody. Or would
Yeah.
you rather be able to stealth?
I don't want one of you. What's the point of having a light? We might as well just put a big sign on me saying, "Hey,
Yeah. Here's the rogue hiding in shadow.
All my other parties, they all wanted light on them. They wanted light on the belts, on the shields,
yeah,
and on the staffs, and then they went into caverns and things.
yeah," and died.
I'll take a light.
Okay. What would you like a light on?
I don't want a light at all.
Oh, would you like a light on your sword? Oh, too late.
I wouldn't mind an additional light. It sounds like it'd make it lighter.
Where would you like it, old Pete?
The hilt, I suppose.
Yeah, okay. Well, I will cast my light cantrip on his hilt.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So that would mean that everybody has a light source with them, apart from you, Obadiah, which I think that's what you wanted. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So remember that the sort of like this entrance here was the folding back doors onto this sort of like alfresco area. Yeah, like the patio. Yeah.
I say we backtrack to the foyer, see whether or not we can find a way into the other wing, and if not, then we take the stairs.
Yeah, I think that's a
Get
really
this
good
guy,
idea.
this kid found and then get back into the town.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Okay,
Sword around.
let's go for it.
Okay, yeah. So if you would like to move yourself to where you want to end up, and then I can tell you if anything happens before you get there or when you get there.
So Obadiah is going to backtrack right the way back to the foyer.
Okay.
Well, Peter's gonna wait at the stairs because he just wants to take a look upstairs.
Yeah, so to your north, that's where the stairs go up, and to your east, that's where the stairs go down, if that makes sense. Felix, you're stood in front of the...
Staring at the griffin statue.
yeah,
He's carefully looking at it and going, and gently poking it in an eye, thinking that might be a button to like open a secret door or passageway, because he's got it in his head now that there's a secret passage.
yeah.
Whether there is or not, it's no matter. But he's just, and then he's thinking maybe it's the beak, and he's kind of like looking around and that sort of stuff.
Cool. So can you still see the? You can still see the griffin, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just sort of like stood there with one arm up and the other one sort of like resting on the thing, and you sort of like poke it in the eye, and it seems to be rather solid. It seems to be made out of it seems to be stone. It doesn't look like it's it doesn't look like it's well made at all, and it doesn't look as good as the gargoyles. Could you make for me, please, an investigation check? Dominic, what would you like to be doing? Are you just popping up the wall?
I'm literally, Dominic's just staying with the wall at his back, and he's watching everybody and hoping and things around, making sure everything stays still while he's watching everything, and anything happens, he wants to be ready to find a point of exit, help people. Okay
then, cool.
Yeah.
And Obadiah, you're stood in the.
Well, Obadiah was coming down here, but then it's dark, so he can't see what he wants to do. So he's going to be coming up here to speak to Dominic, probably.
Yeah. So Felix, when you sort of like look at this this griffin and you sort of like poke it in the eye, and it seems to be stone. Like I say, it doesn't look like it's well made at all. If anything, the gargoyles were quite, top notch. This almost like looks like, for want of a better word, it almost like looks like a kid has created it. It's almost like looks as if it's some kind of statue out of a Christmas cracker, for want of a better word, and it looks strangely out of place in this sort of like grand area. It doesn't look, and it's only when you look at it a little bit more then you suddenly realise that you couldn't quite put your finger on why it looked out of place, and then it suddenly dawns on you, the whole statue is too small. It looks like when you look at the plinth, the pillar, it looks like almost like something's been cut off the bottom and sort of like lowered. Yeah, if that makes sense, and you sort of like look at it and think, oh, that's a bit strange. And the other thing that does dawn on you is that the sheer lack of any workmanship. It really is poor quality.
Maybe his son, the owner of the house, his son made it at school, and like if any father, you put it there because he made it at school.
Yeah, it almost like looks like that. Yeah. Definitely looks like that.
As Obadiah sort of like goes up to speak to Dominic, and he'll look sort of like to the right and see what Felix is doing to this statue, and he's just sort of going to look at him as if to say, what on earth is this person doing?
I think he's very inquisitive. He seems very energetic and likes to see everything around him, but I don't think that poking something like that's very good. But each to their own. I'm just here to keep you alive, so it's fine. We need to find this boy. So he's poking, isn't he? Poking. Yeah.
Obadiah's just sort of going to look at Dominic, and then he's going to go over to the statue.
Okay.
And he's going to see whether or not he can pull down on the upstretched arm of it, because there's like the way that the griffin is, just to see whether or not it's hinged on it.
Oh, is that in the picture?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Just let me. Image maps.
As if it was like.
Yes, I see what you mean. Yeah. Could you make? Oh, I just have to do. Yeah, Easy Prey 2015. Subscribe for 5 months in a row. Thank you so much, Easy Prey 2015.
Thanks, Easy Prey.
Another one.
Supporting the channel. Fantastic there. Thank you very much. We'll just give you a shout out. Before I say to, you were playing that Rainbow Siege to the early hours of this morning, Mr. Easy Prey. Anyway, yes, could you make a dex save for me, please?
Oh, how do I do that?
On your character sheet.
Oh, yes. Do I just click it?
Yeah, it should roll a d20 and then add on all your bonuses for your...
I drag it.
Yeah.
Boom.
22, yeah. You sort of like reach out and you sort of like pull this lever and this hand, and yeah, it does. It goes. It actually seems to pivot on the shoulder, and it just sort of like pulls down. Dominic, could you make a perception roll for me, please?
Certainly. If I can find my perception skill.
Wisdom, I think it is.
If you go into skills,
Yeah.
Medivac, and then you find your perception,
Yeah.
and then where it's got the total, you can drag that into the chat box, and it will roll it for you.
Oh, this is where it goes wrong, doesn't it? 0. Did you 0?
How can you roll a 0?
I don't know. It just seems to go 0.
How can you? Let's have a.
Let's click the little button there next to it. Let's do that. No.
So perception.
Oh my god, I've got loads. No.
Yeah. So can you see the actual can you see perception?
The perception line. Yeah.
Yeah. So can you see where it says +4?
Yeah.
You should get a little hand over +4.
That's right. And drag it across.
Left click and drag that into the chat window.
Yeah. And then I've got lots of.
No, you shouldn't have any lots of stuff. It should
There you
just
go.
roll.
-1.
No, that's Obadiah rolling.
Oh.
You're not doing anything.
Oh, I got perception skill of 11. 7 + 4, 11.
No, that was me rolling it.
Oh, you right. Sorry.
Can you see that big?
Meanwhile, back.
Can you see that ginormous GM?
Done. Cancel. Right, let's do this properly. So, click. No,
And click and hold.
Click and hold.
Drag, and then it's
Drag.
my.
Onto the chat window.
Yeah.
Chat
And then I click.
window.
A box appears. Manual dice entry.
No.
So, just
Okay. So when you so you go over to where it says +4.
Yep.
Yeah. You left click and hold.
Yeah, which I'm doing. The dice comes across.
Yeah.
I put into the chat box.
And then just leave
Oh,
go.
it did it that time. I must be.
No,
doing
no,
it
that's
right.
me.
Oh, God.
Thank you, man.
See, a box appears. Manual dice entry.
All right. So have you got yourself on manual dice entry?
Where's do you know? Hey, peanuts.
Thank you very much. Everybody else can do it. Thank you, Smoky Sid, for your wonderful subscription there.
Tune in for more exciting things.
Thank you very much.
So how do I change manual? There you go. Oh, a dice manual entry off. Off.
Have you
There we
got
go.
it?
Found it. Yes. The dice are mine.
please.
Oh, that's 20. Get in there. It was worth it in the end, wasn't it? Yeah.
And there's so many perception rolls now. I have 24. Woo! He gets a natural. He gets a nat 20. Okay then. Yeah. So, I don't know whether or not it's actually worth what I was going to say.
Yeah.
See the arm move down.
You see Obadiah pull the arm of the griffin.
And it
Oh,
turns to a
yeah.
golden hat going,
So from the almost like I'm going to draw a little pointer for you. So like from this corner, Obadiah, you hear a. And that was it. Sorry.
that was me. Sorry, that was me, not Obadiah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that was Dominic. Yeah.
Hey. I just heard a noise upstairs along this wall. Just up here, look. Over here. I heard a noise. It's like a.
What happens to Obadiah's going to let go of the griffin arm? What happens to it?
It just sort of like goes. Shh. It looks like it's some kind of spring loaded.
He's going to listen, see whether or not he hears the noise, any other noise.
Yeah, roll a perception check for me.
Oh, how do you do this again?
Yeah, you don't hear anything. Neither does anybody else.
Could I go investigate?
Say again, sorry?
Could I go investigate over there in that general area?
Yes, by all means. Yeah.
When old Pete starts to move, I will follow up behind him, just to,
Yeah.
behind me and him, even though he's facing the wrong. Oh, there we go. Oh, look, what's he doing? He's like a penguin.
Yeah.
What's the floor like on this place? Is this marble as well?
Just 1 second, because I've got to try to.
Don't ask Richard to do any dice rolls.
I've got to try to remember how to. Is it? I've got to try to remember how to. Right, let's get up. I want to.
Note to self: get another player that knows geothermonuclear physics.
Yeah.
Layers.
Just like to say, we never had these problems with Roll20.
I think I was still there.
There you go. Yeah, that the bit at the front with the door with the little black dot on appears to be almost like a part of the wall that has sort of like opened backwards, sort of like into the open towards you. So it's sort of like clicked open to reveal this little corridor. Well, it looks more like a little cubby hole. Because you can see that inside it's just the same wall as the outside, old Pete.
Now, is it starting to move at all? We saw the arm go back up before we moved. Is this staying open, I take it?
It's still open, yeah. It's still open.
Can I investigate further using my sword if I need to prop open the door so that I don't touch the door?
Go to wherever you would like to go.
Is there anything around on the floor that if it does close, we can put it...
Well, you could probably stand in the way.
Yeah.
You could probably, yeah.
Next to the door like that and go and just shed some light on the whole area.
Yeah, it definitely looks like this door has opened inwards to the chandelier room, as we'll call it. And this looks like a little room that appears to old Pete just to have sort of like walls right the way around it, a bit like the cupboard that you investigated earlier on, if you remember. There was a similar sort of like cupboard space. The only difference was that cupboard had lots of stuff in. This one looks completely and utterly empty. The other strange thing about it is that unlike the rest of the rooms that seem to have some kind of wooden or marble flooring on it, this has some kind of rather soggy carpet-like material, and as you sort of like step onto it, there's sort of like a as you walk across, and you sort of like look down, and you sort of like adjust the hilt of your sword to almost like use it as a flashlight. And yeah, it seems to be some kind of a red carpet that looks to be incredibly moist.
So it's like one of those pubs you go into.
Yes, there's some peanuts on the side as well.
Did you say that there's further of this room?
It just ends. It just ends in a wall.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, Pete, is there anything in there or what?
don't you come take a look? If you're concerned about that door, I can try and break it open.
Oh no, it's already open. I just don't want it to close with me and you and me inside.
Here, I don't want you to worry. I'll break it. I'll break it so it won't close. I'm going to attempt it.
I'll stand here. We've got some light. It's not a very big room, is it? What's on the floor? Oh, ugh.
Your accent. How many different accents can Dominic have? We're going to Liverpoolian,
Hello. Right.
and then we're going to Birmingham.
They'll end up like Haswell. They always.
I don't know what you mean. Friend Felix, you man. Right.
Yeah, so Felix and Obadiah, you can sort of like hear old Pete and Dominic round the corner. They seem to be investigating something.
Obadiah's still sort of like looking at Felix, who's just odding things, and he's just gonna sort of like, he has sort of like a sour look on his face, and he's gonna head round to where the other two are.
Noticing that Felix is going to be hot on Obadiah's tails, and as soon as he sees the door that has swung open, he's going to go, "Oh, I was right! Secret passage! Secret!" And he's just going to be then muttering that over and 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 over again.
Let me move aside. There you go.
Why would you hide a room?
I was thinking the same thing. It seems to be empty. And why would you hide an empty room? Unless it's a room that closes and squishes you all.
I can break the door if you need me to, Dominic.
It's alright. I'm not going to come in just yet. I'll just let you guys, you know what you're doing. I'm just here to, keep us alive.
And if anybody's looking at Felix, you'll notice that he stops in the doorway and his face just like falls because he was expecting something amazing. It's just an empty room. He's like,
With a soggy red carpet.
yeah, and he's just going, and then he's gonna sort of like have another, one cast like melancholy glance, and then he's gonna walk away, muttering, "Waste of time."
Is the carpet a natural red, or is it like is it a blood red or a natural red?
Obadiah is going to go in, and how high is the?
How high is the Chinaman?
Is the?
I know he is.
Knee high.
Oh, can't say that. I don't know these people.
We'll just move over that one. Okay then. Yes, Obadiah, what are you doing? You are now stood next to old Pete. Old Pete's got his flaming, his sword out with the light on the hilt. I don't think it's flaming at the moment. Yeah. What was the question? Sorry.
I'm going to leave that question. The ceiling.
Yeah.
How high is it?
It's not as high as the ceiling in the chandelier room.
Okay, and the walls are
exactly the same.
Stone.
No, there's that strange wood panelling that's been throughout the rest of the house.
And the entire floor is some type of carpet.
Yeah, it looks like it's red and a bit squishy. Okay,
so Obadiah is going to squat down, not kneeling.
Yeah,
he's going to squat down and he's going to hand on the carpet.
Yeah, so old Pete, you're sort of like stood there, and Obadiah comes next to you, and then he sort of like squats down next to you and touches the carpet.
You hear him go.
Well, you hear him go.
And then you hear him go.
Are you touching the carpet?
Yeah, he's going to put his hand in it. Onto it, and sort of like.
Okay, make for me an investigation check. Yeah, you sort of like press it, and it seems to be quite thick carpet. It doesn't look like to be sort of like poor stuff at all. And as you sort of like put your hand into it, you notice that there's sort of like clear fluid. It is probably water, sort of like seeps up in between your fingers. If this was my dungeon, that would definitely be a gelatinous cube.
Yeah.
But it's not.
And then he's gonna still down on the squatting down. He's gonna bring that hand up to his head, and he's gonna smell his hand.
Yeah, it smells very old, very musty. You think it's definitely water, and it's sort of like it's obviously been in here for quite a while. You know, it's stale. You just to let you know, as you push down, there was quite sturdy floor underneath. It wasn't as if it was sort of like miles deep. You know, it just feels like, you know, for want of a better word, it just feels like a soggy carpet.
Okay. He's going to is old Pete? Is he actually in the doorway? Is he on the carpet or not?
He's on the carpet next to you, and then Obadiah is the person who's holding the door to stop it. Sorry, Dominic is holding the door open to make sure it doesn't sort of like slam shut.
Or ready to slam it shut just in case.
Yeah, one or the other.
Okay. So the first thing that Obadiah is going to do, he's going to reach into his belt, and he's going to draw his he's going to take out his dagger.
Yeah.
And he wants to try to get the corner of his dagger in between the wall and the carpet in the bottom left hand corner.
Yeah.
And see whether or not he can prise part of the carpet up enough for him to actually grab hold of it.
Yeah, so you can quite easily sort of like scoot your dagger underneath the edge of the carpet, and you sort of like pull it up a bit, and you can see there appears to be some kind of wooden floorboards underneath there. That again looks very very moist. As you pull it away, you do notice that the wooden panels in this room all seem to be rotten. Down at the bottom, as if this water has been sort of like seeping up inside the walls, and you know there's a lot of sort of like the wood is sort of like flaking away as well. But yeah, it definitely comes up, and there's definitely floorboards underneath it.
Just while he's watching Obadiah do these wonderful things that Obadiah does, Dominic's going to put his hand on Obadiah's shoulder and give him guidance. And mutter it's a cantrip, which you can just give it to somebody, and it'll give him a D4 extra on his next ability check if you want.
How long does it last for?
Concentration to 1 minute.
Yeah.
Ignore that. I'll do it next time.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Cool.
I didn't read it. Yeah, sorry.
Obadiah's he's going to still squatting down. He's going to say to old Pete, step into the other room.
Do you want me to break the door off, or are you fine just sitting in here by yourself at that risk?
I just want you to step into the other room so I can move this carpet and see what's underneath.
Oh. Move myself out.
So, I want to try to pull up as much of this carpet as I can.
Yeah, you sort of like just give me a strength check.
Main ability strength. Boom.
Yeah, you sort of like like that, and you sort of like pull up. You hear a couple of ping ping as it pulls up the tacks from the side, and you sort of like get it up, not a huge amount. Obadiah, Dominic, you don't look that impressed as Obadiah tries to pull. He looks as if he's trying to pull it all up, and there's sort of like about 2 two tacks fall out. It definitely looks like it's a wooden floor underneath
There's a
it.
bit of
Yeah. It's definitely a wooden floor underneath.
what you doing, Obadiah?
Well, why would you hide a closet?
Well, I said that, but there's nothing in here. Have you tried all the walls to see if there's anything you can poke or push? I'm going Yorkshire now.
Do you want to try it, or do you want to leave me to do my stuff?
I'm going to leave you to do your stuff, but is it worth you trying to push the walls or poke things?
Well, if it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be on the far wall. But I'm not going to just walk aimlessly across a carpet sodden with God knows what just to get to it.
Do you want us to give you a hand to pull the carpet up and bring it into this room? If all of us get on the other end, on this end here, we can pull it into the room.
There's nothing under the carpet. I've checked now.
Ah.
Keeping to the bottom right hand wall. Obadiah's going to he's going to walk towards the far wall.
Yeah, you sort of like go as you sort of like walk along. You get to the far door. Sorry, the far wall.
And then he wants to start looking at it to see whether or not he can see any way of opening or finding any catches or anything.
Oh yeah, cool. Roll your investigation.
Can I can't put anything on it, can I? Is there anything I can augment it with?
Yeah, well, if two people are looking, then it's classed as a group activity, and then you would have the advantage on the roll. So in which case, can you see down at the bottom it says advantage, and in which case you would roll 2 dice, exactly the same, and we would take the higher one. Consequently, yeah.
As well.
Yeah, you could augment it with guidance at this point if you wish. Do you wish to cast guidance?
I will cast guidance.
Okay then. So therefore, you're going to. So what you'll have.
Well.
Yeah. So you're going to have to touch him because I think it's a touch spell.
Yeah, that's right. So I will. I will take Obadiah. I'm going to have to come across and just touch on your shoulder. I can give you a bit of help with this. So, but just give me a minute to get over this soggy carpet, and I'll move.
Keep to the bottom wall.
Yep, bottom wall. I will follow exactly the soggy footprints that Dominic took.
Yeah, you can follow roughly things. So
yeah.
yes.
Then I'll reach down my hand and put it in his shoulder and say, "May my God give you guidance in what you're looking for."
Yeah, so you now get a 1d4. So you can roll your investigation, and then
is it a 1d4 or +4?
Let me just check.
1d4.
Yeah, the target can roll a d4 and add the number to the roll of one ability check. It can be you can roll the dice before or after making the ability check. The spell then ends.
I'll roll it before.
Okay, cool. So you're going to add 4 onto the roll. I think what it means is that you can roll it, and if it was a low roll, you can then decide to use the guidance. 17, 21. Yeah, so you sort of like start to investigate. Yeah, okay then. So you start to investigate around this back wall, and it definitely comes to your attention that it looks like there's a way of opening the panel on this back wall as well. It definitely looks very similar to the one at the other side. So it's definitely there. just to let you know, if you were going to do something like check for traps, then that would allow you would do a dex roll, perception to wisdom to see them, but then a dex roll to remove them. And because you've got your thieves tools with you, that would allow you to add your proficiency onto it as well, which should be at the top of your character sheet somewhere. Yeah, can you see prof +3?
Yeah, whereabouts I'm looking, sorry.
You know, on your character sheet, just on the right hand side, it says class and level, then it says prof +3.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, so when you're using your thieves tools, you would make a dex roll against the DC of the trap. But if you're using, normally it would just be a dex roll, so you roll a 1d20 and add on your dexterity bonus. But if you're using thieves tools, you're allowed to add your proficiency onto it as well.
Right. Okay.
So you would get whatever your dexterity. Is it +4 for your dex? Yeah, it looks like it.
Dex is +3.
+3, so you would then get another +3, so you get +6 on your dex roll. And then remember, there's a difficulty class of the trap, and as long as you get above it, then you would see it or disarm it, whichever one you were planning on doing.
Okay, so there looks like there's maybe another door,
Definitely.
but there doesn't look like there's any way to.
No, I mean, even with that roll, because you got 21, so that's a really good roll. It definitely looks, you can actually see where the door will open. It definitely looks like it opens into the next room, just as the one behind you has opened into the chandelier room. But, you've looked around it quite proficiently, and, this is your area being a rogue, and you can't see any form of latch or trigger for it at all.
So I'm just going to have to go AFK for 30 seconds, so go on to somebody else.
Okay, then. Somebody else.
Now that Dominic is distracted, I will take down my foe, the door. Is there any chance I could roll like a strength or something to break this door?
Yes, you can roll a strength check by all means. So it's just be a normal ability check rather than a save. So you'll just be rolling a 1d20 plus on your strength bonus. It looks like it's quite solid though.
I think I'm doing this right.
Yeah, you sort of like you grab your hand on it, you go like that, and Felix just sort of like looks at you, and then you just sort of like turn to him and say, "Oh, it's pretty strong." it's quite just, yeah, definitely, yeah, very well made, this door.
Good workmanship.
Good workmanship.
This door's beating me this time.
Still open?
It's still open, and it's still attached.
Yeah, Dominic's going to now move back out of the room. This is
Is Chugga back?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh yes, no.
Question: the room where the griffin was.
Yeah.
The arm went back into the into the same position where it was.
Yeah, it was up like that. You pulled it down, or somebody did, and this door opened. Then, if you remember, it just went back up. It was as if it was spring loaded.
maybe there's another griffin in the other room behind that door that opens that door, and maybe it's just a place for them to run through very quickly. But then again, if they're running from both rooms, how do they open the next one without being at the same anyway?
I could hold the griffin arm down, and we could see.
That's a really good idea. We can see if it opens that back door as well.
I'm gonna walk myself on over to that griffin statue, and then I'm gonna pull down the arm, and I'm gonna try and hold it down. If there's any spring resistance.
Okay, Dominic, can you make a dex save from me, please?
You're muted, Dominic.
Just drop my dex and drop it in there like that.
Yeah, that should be. Do you have any dex bonuses?
No.
No. So 14. Yeah. So So old Pete, you sort of like go like that, and you hold it down. We'll come to you in a second. And Dominic, you're sort of like in the doorway, and you suddenly notice that the door seems to have triggered some kind of release mechanism. The door comes swinging back towards you, and you just manage to get out the way, checking that you've got all your fingers, as the door behind you, Obadiah, slams shut. And the one in front of you, Obadiah, opens. Strength save. Strength check. Sorry. Old Pete. Yeah, and it looks like this arm is trying to come back up again, and you can feel it pressuring to be released. Try to return it, but it doesn't look like it doesn't feel as if it's a strong mechanism. But you're sort of like holding it down with both arms, and you're shaking a little bit, but you're over the top of it. You figure it was probably about a DC of 12, just so you know. So you're holding it down, but it doesn't. It definitely feels like it wishes to spring back up. Obadiah. That's what you can see.
I'm in complete darkness unless there's any light anywhere.
Oh yes, you are. So yeah.
Dominic's gonna go, guys, I almost got squished. What are you doing? This door's closed.
Guess I'll yell down the hall.
Delayed reaction.
Obadiah's just sort of like going to sort of like go into sort of like a crouch.
Yeah. Roll a hide roll for me, please.
Was that a skill?
Yeah, you can on a bonus action. Can you not take a hide?
Stealth.
Yeah. Yeah, you sort of like back off into the corner and try to make yourself quite small. The door in front of you opened into the next room, and you do get the feeling from your passive perception that it's quite a big room. And just make
he's going to try to rely on his other senses. He's going to be smelling to see whether or not.
Yeah, so just roll perception check.
My perception's crap.
Yes, -1. Oh, your wisdom.
I don't get it. Why is it -1 and you're a rogue?
I know.
And it's because it's based off wisdom. Perception is, I think, is a wisdom skill.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
random.
but if I'm right, is it investigation? That's an intelligence roll, isn't it? Investigation.
Investigation's intelligence, but I got +4 to that.
Yeah, so you must be quite. Oh yes, because you get it as a class progression as well.
Yeah.
So you sort of like sneak back into the. It smells as if that there's almost like a rush of air. Almost like stale air exchanging with the air in this room. You don't think that this second door's been open for quite a while, but you definitely get the sense that beyond this door it's quite an open space and also quite cold.
Mm-hmm.
Bless you.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
That was me touching my mic, I think.
No, Longshank sneezed.
Oh, did it? Oh, bless you.
You're the bloody cleric.
Well, bless me, I got most of it.
I sneezed so hard my headphones can fly off. You notice Felix goes running up to old Pete and is tapping him on the shoulder and going, oh, Pete, do it again.
Okay. Just gonna let it go back up and then just slam it back down as quickly as I can.
Okay then. So you release it, and it sort of goes ting, and then you press it back down, and the Obadiah, the door in front of you slams shut with considerable force. Just to let you know, I'm dropping frames. Oh no, I'm all right now. And Dominic, the one in front of you, suddenly springs open again.
As soon as it springs
flying through
open,
the air.
Obadiah just dives for it. Just dives for the opening.
Yeah, roll for me. I think it's acrobatics.
Ooh, hang on then. Skills, acrobatics, athletics.
Is that what it is? Is there only athletics?
Yeah.
Yeah, athletics it will be then.
No, there's an
Acrobatics is top.
there's an acrobatics at the very top.
Oh right, sorry, I don't have acrobatics. Oh, that makes more sense because athletics is strength and
Yeah, that's why I'm saying acrobatics
Yeah.
is.
So I didn't have it right the way up. Christ.
Yeah, you sort of like dive through the door. Dominic, you sort of like see Obadiah sort of like jumping through the door. He looks like he's almost like going to do like a forward roll and sort of like comes up, but he just as he pushes off that last little bit, his foot slips on the carpet and he just sort of like slides into the room, you know, and then, and then he sort of like finishes like this.
I don't think you meant to do that, but that was quite impressive. Your skills are amazing, you mighty rogue. You. I
The
wish
other
I.
door opened when that one closed.
Well, that's like opportunities, isn't it? Maybe this door closed really heavily and almost squished me. But maybe if we put something in its way, we can see if it stops it from closing all the way. And then we can maybe go through into the next. You say there's another room there. So if
Is after that other door that opened.
if we can stop this door from closing, then we can go through. I think. Is there anything in this room that we can be? It's like
What was that? Sorry.
or something.
There's a whole load of tables in this room. Is that so? And chairs?
Yeah, there's a big table over there. Maybe we could push it over here and put it in the door. And when it closes, it'll block it, and we can climb over the table.
Wasn't there something in the other room that we could use to stop it?
Felix and old Pete, you can probably hear this muttering going on in the other room.
It's okay. Felix and I are having a moment. Just Felix stuttering and
Well, yeah,
you know,
Felix has sort of like got his hand on your shoulder, and you're just stuttering into your ear, and
listening patiently.
so is the idea, Obadiah and Dominic, to try to move a table or a chair into?
Yeah, I think that's a sensible thing, just to block the door.
Okay.
Sort of angle it so it's not going directly into the room. It's kind of at an angle, so when the door closes, it.
Is
Yeah.
there a table enough to stop if we put it into the actual sort of like in between the door frame?
Yeah, so you'll have to sort of like put it so as the door slams shut, the table will be in the way, so it won't actually close it altogether. So you'll be able to, if it works, you'll be able to sort of like scoot over underneath the table.
Okay, so that's what we're going to try.
Okay then. So Obadiah and Dominic, you sort of like pull a table and perhaps a couple of chairs over, and you sort of like position them in the door jamb, the sort of like the doorway, and then is the idea then to call to old Pete to say
to
Pull the lever!
pull it down again.
Okay, pulling the lever.
cool. Yeah. So you then sort of like press the button, pull the lever down, and what the door sort of like slams shut. It slams with some considerable force into the table, and you hear the table sort of like go like that, but it seems to be quite solid. And you then notice that the door at the other end, Dominic, you can see it through. You've got some light as well. Seems to open up into a big room.
Obadiah is going to go down to the top of these stairs, and he's going to say, "That did it. You can come up now."
Well, all right then. Gonna wander on down and join the party.
Yeah.
My own.
And you can see that the corridor goes straight across, and then it seems to be entering in another room. And you can see from your torchlight that it seems to be quite a significantly big room. You can see from where you are now that it obviously goes off round to the south. It seems to have the wooden paneling round it. There seems to be no light in there, and it seems to have some kind of wooden floorboards as well. But you can almost like feel the vastness of the room. You think it's probably about the same size as the ballroom, maybe a bit bigger, maybe a little bit smaller. It's definitely not a tiny room.
Felix is off. He's gonna sort of like jump onto the top of the table and run across it, and then he's gonna
Sure. Roll your athletics roll. Yeah, you sort of like jump onto the table and sort of like skid slightly and sort of like fall off the other end and sort of like crawl along the thing, and then arrive at the into the large room at the other side.
I'll crawl after him.
Yeah, you can, as long as you're not going too quickly or too fancily, you can maneuver yourselves over the table and into the thing.
Dominic will bring up the rear as
Just stop exactly where you are, because
I've not moved.
no, but Felix
No, I
has.
moved so I could let other people have space to put their.
So I need to make things happen.
Obadiah, get ready to pull this table out if there's a dragon in there.
It's a trick.
Get an axe.
Yeah, okay then. So you can see that the room appears, Felix, as you go move away, and you can see around the corner. It appears to be completely and utterly empty. There's no furniture. There's no sort of like lampshades, no chandeliers, no nothing on the table, no rubbish, nothing at all. It seems quite eerily empty. You can see down to your southeast there appears to be a double door, so obviously going into one room, and then further down to the south there is a single door, so you can see the double door to the east and then a single door to the south.
Felix is going to call back. It's nothing here.
Good to hear.
So yes, Dominic will follow Obadiah over the table.
Yeah. So old Pete stood in the doorway. He's just sort of like letting the bard go first. You go, oh, there we are. We're in.
So the room. Obadiah's going to go into the door, into that room. Is it panelled again?
Yeah, exactly the same as the other room, or the rest of the rooms. But the floor on this one is sort of like just wooden floorboards. If there was ever a carpet here, then it's definitely been removed. But like I say, it is completely and utterly empty. Strange, because the rest of the building almost like seemed to be lived in.
And what about the ceiling again?
It's about the same height as the chandelier room that you sort of like moved out of. It's taller than the little passageway that you rammed open the far door.
Is it adorned with anything like chandeliers, or is it just
No,
like,
that exactly.
it's a very sparse room, very Spartan?
Well, it's not
There's
Spartan.
no way,
it's
there's no way
empty.
to light it or anything like
No,
that.
not
There's no torch bracket chandelier.
no, nothing at all.
Why would somebody have a big mansion like this and leave like this room empty?
Ran out of gold.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe you can't have too much stuff.
Let's just find a boy and get out.
My way down to the door, but not the double doors. Going for the single
Yeah.
door. But I'm gonna pull it open. Is what I meant. Use door.
Yeah, so the you sort of like pull it, and it opens quite easily. It's not locked or anything like that, and you can see that. Oops. You can see this.
Ooh.
And it appears to be some kind of bedroom. The thing directly opposite you seems to be some kind of old rotted bed, and it's all sort of like ruffled up, etc., as if somebody's just sort of like quickly got out of bed and left it there. To your east, there seems to be an old desk, which is in much the same state as the bed. And yeah, it's sort of like, it just looks like everything is messed up. It looks either that somebody has left in a hurry, or somebody has purposefully left it like this.
When Dominic is still where he is, Obadiah wants to go back to this where the other door was up at the top.
Yeah.
And he wants to just have a look at the walls on either side to see whether or not he can see any way of opening that door from this side.
Okay, yeah, so make an investigation check. Yeah, you have a good look around. It doesn't seem to have any mechanism from this side at all, which you actually, it dawns on you and you sort of like think, oh, this is weird, because it would mean that the only way to actually get into this door
from the other side.
Yeah.
So unless there's a way to get outside, then this place would practically be a prison.
Most definitely. Old Pete, what would you like to do? You're stood in the doorway at the moment.
Mostly just kind of shrug and then go towards the double doors to open those up. See if there's anything in there. Just do a double-handed, just throw them open or shove them open.
So you sort of like throw these open. They're not locked at all. So let me just put on. Sorry, my drawing with this tool is not the best. There you go. So it seems to be a large open space, and down at the south you can see that there's 3 stone mannequins, it appears to be. You also see that behind them, on the southern wall, there seems to be large black blast marks, and you can even make out the sort of like the silhouettes of these stone mannequins behind, if that makes sense. And you'd also notice that down to the along the eastern wall there, you can see that there's a set of double doors. They're large and they're made out of iron. and you also notice that these are blackened with fire as well, and all the other sides of the room are empty.
Obadiah's coming down to where the like the bedroom thing was. What was the other? He's going to sort of like put his head through the door. Maybe call Dominic over so that he can see it a bit better. There was a bed. What was the other thing on it?
There was a desk as well.
He's going to go in whilst he's got light, and he's going to have a look at the desk.
Dominic's going to stand and just at the entranceway, just shed the light on him.
Okay, could you make a perception check for me, Obadiah? Ooh,
Last.
natural 20. Yeah, so you notice that there's two things in here. Over to the west wall, as you walk into the room, you see just tucked behind the bed head, if that makes sense, there appears to be what it seems to be a scroll case. From the light that's coming in from Dominic, it appears to be leather, maybe with some kind of metal clasp on it there. Also, you notice that on the desk there appears to be a journal of some description. It's opened up, and on the page it says 12th day of Myrtle. Today the general meets with his new advisor. She comes highly regarded. Hopefully she can guide the general down the righteous path.
He's going to turn the page, see whether or not there's anything written on
Okay,
the
could you make a wisdom a wisdom perception check? Yeah, make a perception. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18. You sort of like turn the page, and the first thing that you notice is that it's extremely brittle. But you sort of like, as you lift it up, it sort of like looks like it's about to crumble, but you manage to turn the page, and it says 14th day of Myrtle.
What was it, 112?
Yeah. A new advisor, Gertrude, has only been in our service for 2 days, and already I see a change in the general. He hangs on to every word she spills. I only hope that that it is the word of good.
He's going to very carefully close the journal.
So it was open at the time. So do you want to sort of like move the journal completely closed?
He wants to. Is there anything to mark the page where it was on?
Well, you know it's just one page back, but you can probably. I see. You could probably get an.
Completely, because he wants to see whether or not there's anything written on the front cover.
Yeah, you can probably stick something in.
Yeah, I mean he'll find something just to.
Yeah, so you put in, and you can carefully close it.
Yeah, so he wants to close it completely.
Yeah.
To see whether or not there's anything written on the front of it, and failing that, he will open the cover to go to the first page to see what's written on that.
Yeah, it seems to be some kind of diary. There's nobody's name written on it at all. You notice that once you close it, you notice that there were some pages before this one. But you also notice that as you close the book up, you hear sort of like a cracking sound. And it's obvious that this parchment has been opened in this position for some time. And when you open the front page, the front outer cover again, you notice that the bits of parchment that was there have now just sort of like crumbled into some kind of dust or segments of parchment. You can see that it was actually written on. but you can't decipher it. You can see from the 12th day onwards. You saw the 12th day, and the page after that was the 14th day.
But I can't see anything more than that now because
not before that. You can see that this page is going on after 14th day.
Can he open it to see what happens after the 14th then?
Yeah, you can just turn the page.
Right. Okay. I should do that.
Okay, so the next page, there's no pages missing, but it says 25th day of Myrtle. Something is wrong. The general dismisses the lords. He has advised that we will not meet with them in council about the orc armies marching upon us. This new advisor holds all of his attention. She feeds him the poison of her words and turns him against the people. She must be stopped.
Is there another page after that?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
30th day of Myrtle. Today is the day that I, Marple Brightshine, make a stand for the greater good. She will die by my hand, and my name will be forever muddied. But I see her for what she really is, a night witch. And there's nothing more in the journal after that.
Okay. Is it like a cot bed, or is it? Can I have a look underneath it?
Yeah, you can look underneath it. There seems to be nothing underneath it at all. I mean, there seems to be no clothes in here, no way of getting dressed or anything like that. You can just see this scroll case quite clearly now.
It doesn't look like it's tried to be hidden then, this scroll case.
No, it looks more like it's rolled off the bed.
Right. Okay. I'll pick up these scroll cases as well.
Yeah.
Is there any markings on it?
There doesn't seem to be any markings. What it appears to be is just like a leather scroll case. It looks like there's like a leather buckle that you look like can unbuckle, then open the top of it.
Okay. He'll hold it up to his mouth and just sniff it.
Yeah, you sort of
especially the end where the sort of like the end cap will come off.
Yeah, so you sort of like sniff it, and it smells of leather. It is a bit moist to the touch, but it definitely seems to be doing its job of protecting anything that's inside.
But apart from that, it doesn't smell anything else.
No, nothing at all.
Okay. He'll open it.
Yeah, there's a rolled up scroll inside.
Okay. He's going to take it out and see whether or not it's anything written in the common.
Okay, do you have an Arcana check? Are you proficient in it?
I've got a skill on it. I think I don't know whether or not everybody has it. It's on my skill list.
Yeah,
just roll it?
Yeah. 15. Yeah, it looks like some kind of magical spell on it. What it is, you're not too sure. You're not like the some rogues become what's known as an arcane trickster,
Right.
which they actually match. They sort of, it's a bit like a magic user thief. But
as far as Obadiah is concerned,
yeah, because you're not arcane trickster, aren't you?
No, but it's probably worth something to someone.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to put it back in the scroll case and restopper it, and he's going to stick it in his tunic.
Cool.
And then looking round to see, he's going to head out the door.
Yeah.
Dominic will follow him as he goes out.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, what's in this other room?
Yeah, so there seems to be 4 stone mannequins on the southern wall. and everything's sort of like blackened, including the double door to the south on the eastern wall. You can see sort of like black silhouettes of the mannequins behind behind, on the wall, as if something's been blasting them. Guys, at that point, I think it's a sensible time to take our break, because it's 8:40. So if you're watching the stream, thank you very much for joining us. We are going to take a quick 10-minute break, and we will be back straight after as the party continues to venture forth through the haunted manor. So please don't go away, and we will be back shortly. let's do that and that.
Yeah, I may have.
I'm still eating Christmas biscuits.
Yes, and we're back. I thought we might finish this adventure tonight, but it seems to be taking some time. Anyway, we're back in the room. Stone mannequins at the end, blackened rooms. Obadiah, what were you doing with the scroll case? Are you secreting it around your person, or?
I put it into. I was going to try to stick it into my inside of my tunic.
Yeah, you can do that. That's not a problem. Yeah, so guys, you're in this room. What would you like to do?
Try the double doors, those big iron doors.
Okay, then. Yeah, move your.
Might against them. Power.
Does there seem to be any? Does there seem to be any pattern to the scorching? Is it more down to the south, or is it all over the place?
It's
or?
definitely down to the south.
What about the northern wall?
That's exactly what I was going to ask.
No, the northern wall. If you sort of like draw a line from, I'll draw it for you, and then you can see it. So almost like if I draw that line. Can you see everything to the south of that line is just sort of like blackened, and anything to the north of that line isn't. It's just like the normal wood paneling. Old Peter, you're in front of the doors. What would you like to do?
I'd like to try and open the doors.
Yeah, so you sort of like there seems to be some black. You notice that there seem to be iron doors that are actually. Wooden doors that have iron over the top of them, and it looks like they're quite well shut. Just roll for me a strength check.
Strength.
Yeah, you sort of like figure that they actually open inwards, and you give them a bit of a knock with your shoulder, but they seem to be, it's almost as if they've been burnt and they've swollen slightly, and you sort of like give it a bash, and it doesn't seem to want to open at all. You can either, it might be that you need assistance, or it might just mean that you need a bigger run.
I need assistance, everybody. This door is very well crafted.
Felix is standing in the room, sort of like a few meters away from one of these statue things, and he's going to be looking at it, looking at the scorch marks, thinking back to songs and stories of he's heard of battle wizards and all those sorts of things throwing fire at people, and he's going to stand there and go, like, mime it, and he's trying to work out in his head if that's what those things are there for. So he's standing there basically pretending to both throw fire at them.
It could be for that.
Yeah,
There's
that's what he's thinking at the moment.
Could,
so that's what he's doing.
There's no holes in the wall in this top north wall, is there?
no.
It's a pure... Right, that's fine. Dominic will walk down and assist, and he will place his hand on, give old Pete some guidance.
Okay then. Well, roll your strength check again, old Pete, and then if you need to, you can roll a 1d4 afterwards to see how well it goes.
All right, and we're gonna give some old Peter power. Oh no, that's my entire character sheet. Gotta grab just the dice. Pow.
Would you like to roll the? Well, it's just going to give you the same as you got before. Yeah. So with the guide,
even less.
yeah, with the guidance of Dominic's god, you actually don't feel that well inspired. If anything, you were slightly put off by the fact of Dominic touching you on the shoulder.
I'll say to old Peter, are you an atheist?
Well, I'm not hearing whatever guidance your god's given. Starting at the bottom of the door is not good guidance from you, Dominic.
Maybe if I put my shoulder into it with everybody else, we can...
Yeah, you can help. So if you sort of like come around, that would break your concentration though.
Obadiah is going to go
Yeah, that's fine.
and try to help as well.
Okay then, so old Pete, you can have advantage on your roll now. So if you look down at the bottom where it says modifiers, there's a little thing to press that will say advantage, and then so make sure that's pressed, and then roll the dice again.
I've got the advantage of friendship and power.
Oh yes, so you can see there that you rolled 2 dice. The 11 was dropped because it wasn't. It was lowest, but you actually scored 20, and you sort of like with an almighty push and sort of like Obadiah and Dominic helping you, the door bursts inwards into the wall, into a room, and I'll show you exactly what it looks like first, and then I'll tell you what you see. Okay, so as you burst into this, you can see that it appears to be somewhat of a library. Maybe you can see that round the outside there's what were probably bookcases. However, you notice that all 4 of the walls and the floor is badly burnt. On the floor there's sort of like ash and rubble littered, across the whole of the room, and you see that there's sort of like old books fallen down on the floor. Some of them are burnt and sort of like huge blasts. Some of them are sort of like still at jaunty angles in the bookcase. And you also notice as you stand at the in the room looking in that there appears to be skeletons. Bits of skeletons here and there, the odd hand sort of like coming out, the odd skulls somewhere else. You're not too sure if the full skeletons are actually underneath the rubble. So for example, there's like a desk that's been sort of like blasted to bits, and all you can see is almost like a hand coming out from underneath the rubble. There's bookcases around all the sides of the wall, and then there's sort of like tables or writing desks, and like a coat stand that seems to have some kind of cloak sort of like flapped over it, hung up. It's quite strange because it looks like within the room there's been quite a fiery battle, want of a better word.
Can we see any other rooms going off from here?
No. There seems to be no other sort of like exits or anything in this room at all. It looks quite, for want of a better word, it looks extremely strange. The wall, the door, by the way, now that it's open, you can see that it was blackened on the other side as well.
Obadiah is going to say the kid didn't come this way.
No, he didn't. This looks like some kind of practice place or whatever for mages. Or maybe, I don't know. I think we should go.
Fight? Magic?
Maybe they had a falling out. I don't know, because you've got a practice room here with the mannequins where you can see them casting fireballs of all things. And then you got this room here where there's people dead. So maybe there were 2 groups of people here who...
How many people are we looking at might have been? I mean, does it look like there were several people in the room, or...?
It's very hard to tell at the moment because you can only see, there's no sort of like full skeletons that you can actually see. it seems to be more bits of skeletons, the arm jutting out of rubble, the skull lying detached from the spine somewhere, a leg sticking out from somewhere else, if it almost as if the creature might have been trying to crawl underneath something and you just see its leg stuck out. You don't actually see any full skeletons at all.
Maybe it's just one person who thought he could use a transport spell.
It's definitely more than one. You know, you can.
Before going into the room, Obadiah again is going to sort of like squat down, and he's going to pull his finger along the floor to see whether or not it comes up covered in soot or ash.
Yeah, it's definitely blackened. It doesn't look like there seems to be some kind of debris in there, dust of anything, but the black is not soot. It's almost as if something's actually burnt the stonework. If that makes sense.
From what we can see, there's no other exits from it.
No other exits that you can see at all.
Obadiah's going to say, the kid either went up or down. He didn't come in here. No way could he have got through these doors.
Well, this is it. I mean, there'd have to be two of them to open the first doors. So maybe if we go up, and once we found the kid, we could always come back down here and look again. But yeah, let's go up the stairs and see what's up there.
Maybe he had some type of magic that could have gone past the first door, but this one just needed strength.
Well, it's not been opened since this happened, and the kid wouldn't have come here while this has happened, would it?
Don't seem probable.
So is the idea that you're going to go back through everything and to the set of stairs?
Yeah, I think retrack our steps to... Was there a staircase, spiral staircase?
Yeah, back just off the griffin room, and you can make your way back through this and everything looks to be exactly how it looked the first time round. Is the plan to go up or down? You can go either.
The brief that we were given by the guy who hired us to come here, he didn't say, apart from he had put it as like a test for the guy, survive the night in the haunted house, and I'll teach you what I know type thing. He hadn't, from what we know, he hadn't given him any specific test.
No.
Or task to do.
The wizard did. The old man didn't portray that to you at all. So you're not too sure. I mean, he just said that he was sent here to prove his worth. And that was it.
So any sensible person would have probably just gone into the entrance way and waited.
You would have thought so, yeah.
Unless that eye thing spooked him and he ran off.
But that wasn't in the entranceway, was it? That was in the veranda outside.
No, I mean the spooky eyes.
The blue glowy eyes, yes.
I think we should probably check upstairs.
I'll lead the way.
Okay.
I completely agree. I will follow.
Okay, it's going to take me I just need to move you. Let me just zoom you out. Let me just put old Pete's going first, then who?
Felix is quite keen, so he'll probably go second.
Okay. Then who?
Obadiah's tried to bring up the rear.
Okay, so Dominic next.
No, well, Obadiah's trying really hard, but Dominic's trying really holding back as well.
Okay. Okay, right. I've just moved you. You might have to scroll your map down a bit. Yeah. You won't be able to see anything yet.
Got rid of my map. Where's the map gone?
Image map, and then click on the manor.
Okay. Can you see?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is there any way to center the map on the center of the screen?
No. Oh,
Oh, there we go.
huge.
No, that's good.
I've just synced it to what I'm looking at.
Right.
So that's what the stream looks like at the moment. So I'm sort of like zoomed in. So just to let you know that you can see that the corridor, Old Pete, sort of like heads off west. There seems to be a turning off to the north. Can you see that? And then what seems to be a wide corridor that heads off south. The corridor does carry on ahead of you. But 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. What's the light radius?
Not much for me.
Dominic, I think it's your spell.
2 shakes, I'll do that for you.
Just need...
It is the lights.
Mine is 20 foot.
Yeah.
20 foot, yeah.
Bright light and 20 foot radius and dim light for an additional 20 feet.
So that's 40 foot, yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So you can see to that.
I'll go ahead and keep walking. My goal would be to stop at this first turn and look, and if there's nothing really like a threat, monster, or somebody ghostly down there, I'm going to keep walking so I can look down the wide hallway, and other people could look down that first hallway. That's my goal.
Okay. And I just want to... I can't find it. Yeah, so you get to that point. Dominic and Obadiah, I presume you're moving up as well?
Yeah, as they come through, we'll come round as well.
Yep, exactly. Just moving behind them. Not too close.
Yeah, and that's what you can see.
So certainly no threats coming from down that hallway.
Yeah, it turns again. It turns to the... so it goes north, and then in the next 10 foot, it sort of like turns to the east.
Okay. Well, I'll keep going with my plan to go about here and then to...
Okay, so you can see the door off to on the north corridor there, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
You could probably see down to the end of this corridor. Let's put it in because there's something else here as well. Okay, so the first thing that you notice as you turn the corner is that there seems to be a soft green glow flickering in this hallway. There seems to be no source of light, but there seems to be something almost like a glow. It's not glowing. There's nothing glowing. Imagine mist hanging around on the floor. It's a bit like that, but a little bit more. It's not as dense, and you can just see it. This green glow every now and again flickering down the corridor. Yeah, it seems to be going towards the doors down here, but that's about it. You certainly haven't seen anything like this before, old Pete.
I'm going to look to my cohorts for some explanation or some directive here.
Well, Felix can see it.
Felix. Hang on, where's my character sheet gone? Felix is going to have a look at it, and he's going to think back to all sorts of like the magical mists that he knows in his stories, and he wants to see if he can roll an arcana roll to see if it's a magical thing or not.
You can roll arcana, that's all right. Yeah, you've never, even with your stories, you've never heard or seen or anything like this at all. You once remember seeing some red glow, but that turned out to be some kind of fungus growing on the ground. But you've never seen anything like this in an actual house. It does almost like look as if it's flowing though, as if it's. I'm trying to think how, as if it's almost like flowing around the room, as if the corridors, as if it's some kind of blood vessel, if that makes sense. You know, sort of like, it doesn't seem to be stationary. It definitely seems to be moving and flowing like some kind of blood. It's not blood, it's just flickering green glow stuff. But
it's like a veins going.
Yeah, and you can now, Dominic and Obadiah, you can see it's going down the north corridor now as well.
Right. And we've just walked past the north corridor without going up there to have a look. That's what I take it. So
yeah, you can just see up to that point. That's nobody else went down it and to investigate.
I will whisper forward to Felix and old Peter. Isn't it better to check these first corridors rather than have something come out behind us while we're down a second corridor?
Yeah, that's what I thought you'd do.
Oh.
Obadiah. Corridors for 4 of us.
Obadiah's going to push past Dominic, and he's going to go up to the end, and he's just going to peek round the corner.
So you can see this.
So it ends in a door.
Yeah. Just by the way, you can see some windows along this north wall, Obadiah, but they're sort of like shut and boarded up. But you can see that there once were or was a window, so you know that that's the outside of the building.
Okay. The door at the end, has it got a keyhole or anything like that, or is it?
It's very hard for you to see because you currently have no light.
If you move forward, I'll come with you so you can see. And you're facing the wrong wall.
I was just in the middle of turning around to speak. There we go. I finished turning around to speak to you.
Okay. If you move up, I'll come with you to the next. Yeah, go on.
It doesn't seem to have a keyhole. It doesn't look like there's any way to actually lock this door. It just looks like there's a handle to turn. Old Pete and Felix, what are you planning on doing?
Looking for a lost kid, not for...
So Felix and old Pete, you've just seen Dominic and Obadiah go the other way.
You first.
I better be first. I'm the one with this big old shiny sword. With my sword drawn, of course, still. I'm going to open up the door, see what's on the inside.
So let me reveal it for you. Have you got it?
Master bedroom.
Yeah, there is. Just moving the map incorrectly. There definitely is. It seems to be some kind of guest room, and you notice that it's all dusty and full of what appears to be cobwebs. And as you walk into the room, all of a sudden, just appearing right next to you, appears a spider.
Is it a little spider?
It's a little one, yeah. It just runs over your hand. And if it runs over your palm, that means you can come into some money.
Only if it's a money spider, though. If it's not a money spider, then that doesn't.
Yeah.
Then you might get bitten and be able to climb walls.
If it's
only.
little, then of course old Peter's going to shriek. But if it's a worthy foe, then this might be time to sever the head of a spider. That's the way I see it.
There we go. Let me just add it to the combat tracker. And you should be in the combat tracker, yeah? So you can roll your initiatives, please. Obadiah and Dominic, you need to roll initiatives as well.
Okay, how do we do that again?
It should be on your...
Do we just drag it on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't select my character. Oh,
No, it's right.
did it.
You got 22, you're fine. Felix got an 18. Just roll it. Yeah, that's cool. Old Pete got 14. Just waiting for Dominic.
I'm trying to find my initiative. It's on the main sheet.
Main sheet, middle button. You've got a shield, then you've got
Oh,
a square,
thank you. Yes,
and then another
yes,
square
sorry.
with a bigger number in.
Oh, that rolled at a 17 and rolled into a 7. That's wrong. Thanks.
Okay. So you should be able to open your combat tracker now. And see it. So Obadiah, you're first. However, there's nothing you can really do unless you want to open this door.
He does indeed want to open the door.
Okay, cool.
But as he does it, he wants to drop down into a crouch.
Yeah, so you open the door and inside you can see it's a small room. There's a door at the far end, and just round to your right, there's a desk with a chair behind it, and there's a skeleton that seems to be acting as if he's writing, but you suddenly notice that he's carrying a quill in his hand. But there's no paper on the desk, and he just seems to be just sort of like doing it. So that was Obadiah, who had to do a death save because he's got 28 wounds. You need to take that out of your wound box. If it's not your total.
I haven't done anything. What
says,
am I doing?
Yeah, it says on your character sheet. Let me just change it for you. Can you see where it says wound?
Yeah.
It says 28. Well, you don't have 28.
You did.
Funny noise. The thing made a funny noise and it went.
Yeah, that's just doing the bell for the next person. So Felix, you're up.
Am I in combat range?
You can.
Right.
It depends what you wish to do.
He was going to hit it with his hammer.
I presume therefore that your hammer is actually drawn.
No, but if it isn't, then he will be drawing it.
Okay, then so you can draw your hammer, and then you can roll to hit it. So either just roll the dice onto me, or select it as your as your target.
I think. Oh, hang on. No, I don't have to do that. I'll just roll the dice.
Right. 7 is a is a miss. And okay then. Yeah. So now it's. Oh, I've just realised where my spiders are. Sorry, I couldn't understand why they weren't appearing on the map, and then
They're dead.
No, it's because that's where they are. I couldn't understand why they were so small, but now I can. Yeah. So this is going to. It's probably going to target you, Felix, to start off with, since you've just tried to hit the poor creature. So let's target.
It had a saddle. You could have ridden it.
Yeah. So it's going to try to bite you. If we can roll some dice. Yeah, it actually misses you, and it is at this point that Mr. Peter, old Peter, you see another spider suddenly phase into existence right next to you. I'll just turn them so you can see who they are fighting, and it actually appears from behind you. Let me just target you so I know who I'm fighting. And again, this one tries to bite you. It gets a critical hit. So it will do 10 points of damage to you as it bites into your into your body. Yeah, so don't forget to adjust your wounds. And old Peter, it's your turn to fight.
It's interesting to me. It says you rolled a 10, but then damage 8 to old Peter partially absorbed, and it automatically gave me 8 wounds.
Da, da, da.
I didn't know I had any damage resistance.
Why is it partially absorbed?
You must have some armor on you.
Has it got temporary hit points of 2?
Oh yes,
Right.
yeah. It's just taken those off. Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
right. Okay. Yeah. So you're up now. So if you see the combat tracker, if you press the circles, can you see the circles?
Yes.
If you press that, and then we'll just take you out of there because you're not targeting yourself. And then with that selected, if you click on the spider, and then can you see next at the end, you can then drag that aim button onto that spider. Can you see it?
I think I'm not seeing the right thing now.
So if you press the target button, and another little line will come out underneath it, another gap.
Where's the target button exactly?
Next to your green skull on the combat tracker.
Okay, the effects.
We have effects to the right of it,
Uh-huh.
and before that we have wounds. We don't
Okay, then
have...
I can target it. There you go.
Oh,
It's
thank
done.
you.
So now you can just roll, and it will automatically see whether or not we hit or not.
All right. I would like to use my bonus action of this turn, not to go into a flying rage, but to shout Piggy Snout and Butane to activate my sword.
Okay, that's your bonus action used up. Yeah.
Get my fire sword going. And then I'm going to use my second level ability, Reckless Attack. Lets me get my first attack gets advantage, but attack rolls against me get advantage until next turn.
Okay, got you. So don't forget to hit the advantage button before you roll.
Yes, and then just to clarify, I get an extra attack because I'm level 5, so it's going to be 2 attacks, 1 with advantage, and I'm doing that right now. If I can figure it out.
So just drag it from your character sheet.
Big money.
Yeah, you do hit with a 15. They dropped the 5, so that's a hit. So damage.
Let's see. So there's the sword's damage, and then it deals an extra 2d6.
So if you roll the sword's damage first.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That's 8, and then if you on the d6, if you right click on it and go up to 2.
Yeah.
And then just do that.
Big money.
So that's 11 altogether. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yes, I think it's has it done it? Status wounded. Yeah, it has done.
So this would be my second attack. No advantage.
Yep. That misses. Yep. Okay. Dominic, you're up.
Dominic is going to move.
Yeah, Dominic can roll me a perception check.
Oh, I will roll a perception check. I don't.
Yeah, you can't hear anything down the far corridor, but you can see Obadiah's moved up.
I'll move up to behind Obadiah.
Yeah. Would you like to do anything else?
Nope.
No.
That's it.
Okay then. Let's whiz back up to the top. Obadiah, you're up on turn 2.
Obadiah's going to draw his dagger as quietly as he can, but when he's doing that, he's actually watching this skeleton figure that seems to be writing, and he wants to see whether or not there's any type of pattern in it, whether or not it's, sort of like just repeating the same action over and over again.
Yeah, it seems to be. It doesn't. You can't see what words or letters it's scribing out, but it seems to be working from the top of a piece of almost like imaginary piece of paper down to the bottom, and then almost like moving something else or turning something else over, and then continuing to write.
But it's made no indication that it knows that.
No, yeah, correct.
Okay, he's going to try to move up behind it.
Okay, so as soon as you enter the room, you notice that the skeleton looks up, and he sort of like gazes at you with sort of like empty eye sockets, and its jaw sort of like moves, and it says in a very high-pitched voice, "Ah, you are here. He has been waiting for you. You may proceed, Advisor Gertrude."
Obadiah will just sort of like look at it, and then he'll look through the door towards Dominic. And then...
Yeah, and as you turn round, you see from behind you, and Dominic, you see this thing appear behind Obadiah, and it's almost like seems to be the ethereal dark form of a woman, immensely beautiful, and she seems to have dark hair flowing down her back, and Obadiah, you see that she has almost like deadly deep red eyes, and she seems to have a smirk on her face, almost like a ghostly smile, and she appears and she walks directly through you, Obadiah. You sort of go like that as she walks through you, and she goes straight through the door on the opposite side
without opening it.
She does, and
it was almost as if the skeleton figure wasn't actually talking to Obadiah. He was almost like it was something that he was almost like he had done before,
reenacting the past.
Yeah, and shows the woman sort of like passed through you and through the door. The skeleton goes back to writing. Okay, let's jump back to Felix. You're up.
Felix, seeing this second spider sort of like appear out of nowhere, is going to point it. The bed, has it got like a bed head? I'm just thinking. I'm looking for a point to cast a spell onto.
Yeah, if you just draw a pointer where you want it to end up.
Draw pointers again. So,
If you just right click on the map.
yeah. So like there-ish. I want it. Well, I'll tell you which spell I'm wanting to use. I'm wanting to use Cloud of Daggers.
Okay.
So the S, you fill the air with spinning daggers in a cube, 5 feet on each side, centered on the point that you choose. So I want to basically, it's a square that I can hit both spiders, basically. So that's where I want to get it.
So is the point, because each one of these squares are 5 foot.
Okay.
So if you put it where it is at the moment, say for example, if you let me get my pointers out. So if you put it there, that will be 5 foot. 5 foot. 5 foot will not hit that spider as well. Yeah, because the spider's taken up a whole load of stuff. No, it won't hit old Peter. Yeah. So yeah, what does it do? Send it to me.
So I'm trying to remember. A creature takes 4d4 slashing damage when it enters the spell area for the first time, or a turn, or starts its turn there. So my idea is that I cast that spell and it can hit both, but I don't know if that's how it works.
5 foot cube on either side, centered on point. Yeah. So if you do your damage, so that would be 4 d4s. Yeah. So if you right click on the D, that's it. 11 points of damage. So that one of them was done, and I just need to do the other one because you didn't have the other one targeted.
So he thrusts his hammer out, points, and then he mutters a word that's barely audible, and then you just hear and old Peter will see sort of like a cloud of literally a cloud from floor to ceiling, like a tornado of daggers, just like spinning.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so they sort of like goes around and he sort of like starts to cut in to these two spiders. And old Pete, you see this cloud of daggers sort of like whirling around, cutting into the spiders. And yeah, and then it is this spider first. This is the one that's attacking. This one is attacking you, Felix. That's what he's got a target on. So here comes its attack. It misses you, and then.
Quick question: would that break my concentration if it attacks me?
You have to make, I think, a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, I'll do that because the spell's a concentration spell.
Yes, it's broken it. Okay, and then
they disappear.
Yeah, and then this is the one that's attacking you, Pete. That's a hit.
I was going to say give yourself advantage, but
and you take 3 points of damage, and that's it. And then old Pete, you are up.
I need a medic. 11 points now. Can I switch targets to Weird Spider number 1?
Yeah.
Oh, looks like I'm there. Excellent. I'm not going into a rage. I'm just going to do my regular 2 attacks.
Cool. Go for it.
This is number 1.
No advantage then. Yeah. That hits. Do your damage on that one first.
Oh my goodness. Big damage.
Yeah, 4 points.
Oh, and I get the 2d6 from the fire.
Yeah, so roll your 2d6. This is
13.
This is Spider 1, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah. What's that? Another 9.
13 total.
Yeah. And then you got your second attack, have you?
Yes, no advantage, nothing fancy, just another hit to the face.
Yeah, that hits again.
With style and panache.
And your 2d6.
I'm trying.
Yes.
Another 5.
Stay down.
Yeah, and that kills that spider. I'm just taking it off for the sake of ease. Dominic, can you roll for me a perception check? And you now have advantage, so don't forget to press the advantage button.
What's the advantage button? Sorry.
So can you see down at the bottom it says modifier, and then it says ADV down underneath the near your dice.
Modifier and advantage. Fantastic. Yes.
So you just press the advantage and then roll the skill, and it automatically roll it twice and take away the lowest one. So it dropped the 4 and kept the 5, but you do hear some noise of combat from behind you. What would you like to do?
I will move forward to Obadiah, and I'll whisper in his ear, and you go, "Oh, what's that?" And seeing the skeleton, obviously, for the first time, and say, "They're fighting behind us."
Okay, and Obadiah, you're up, round 3.
Hearing that, Obadiah is going to leave the room that he's in, and he's going to start heading down.
Okay, so each square is 5 foot, so you should have a movement.
Where will I find that? Main movement.
If not, you can move.
Speed, is it?
Is it what, sorry?
Could it be speed?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, so 30 foot.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20, about there.
Okay, so do you want to use any your bonus action or anything like that?
Yeah, what can I use that for? To move?
You can take a dash action if you wish, and that will double your movement.
Okay, so what he wants to move down to here to see what he can see, because he doesn't know which way they're going to do. So that's probably as far as he
will
go.
Okay then. So there seems to be some kind of combat
to the west.
Felix, you're up.
Felix is going to turn to this other big spider, and it's going to he's going to shout, "You're horrid!" And he will do his vicious mockery.
Okay, yeah, cool. Go for it. I've targeted it. That fails. Oh no, so hang on. You cast it. Wisdom save 4 versus. I fail. Yeah, I fail. I only got a 4 compared to your DC of your spell. So do some damage to me.
Do D4 psychic damage. So I'll roll 2 of those because it doesn't automatically do it.
So you do 3 points of damage to it. Yeah, 6 points in total. Yeah, it looks pretty much battered at the moment, and it is the weird spider's turn. It will. It's got you targeted, so it's going to attack you. But it misses as it tries to sink its bite into your leg or head, and that's its phase done. So, old Pete, you're up.
Attack 1 of 2. I'm just gonna break this spider into a fiery.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, let me just make sure that you attacked it. What was that? Sorry, what was your 21 would hit?
Let's give you a D8, and let's give you some fireballs.
So a 6 to start off with.
That'd be the fire damage.
And then another 8. I'll take it to that, which kills that spider as well.
I'll hit it one more time, even though I know it's dead.
Yeah, just give it another
thump. I wasn't actually gonna roll, but if you wanted me to.
No, you can do it. Yeah.
Stay dead.
Yeah, definitely, dead now. So let me just. I'm interested about something because. So now I think if I call up your party experience, I can just drag the encounter link I see. So it's the encounter link. These are spiders. There you go. So can you? I can actually just drag it in, and then you gain some experience points. I don't think I. Let's put the gargoyle in as well. If I award it again, I wonder what it does. Oh no, that's right. What else did you kill? Oh, the
eye thing.
A beholder.
Yeah.
It beheld
Remember that.
and it perished.
There you go. So you're currently at 1,025 experience points from this adventure. Yeah. Okay then. So you can see. Just to let you know, the rest of this room is quite bare, and there's nothing else in it. It doesn't look like it's been actually lived in for some time.
Felix, sorry, have we exited combat?
Yes, you're now out of combat.
So I'm still with the skeleton, am I?
Yes, you are. Yeah.
So
Although Obadiah has left you, Dominic.
Felix, seeing that old Peter had been bitten by that weird, mysterious blue spider, he is going to go up to him and go, cast a spell, and he's going to cast Cure Wounds on Peter.
Yeah, cool. So there's so you get
7 hit points.
7 points back, Mr. Peter.
Put me down at 4 wounds. But I don't
Cool.
know how to change it.
If you just it doesn't look like there's any cursor in it. If you just put your points near it, then just type how many you'll have.
Yep, that worked.
Yeah. It got me confused for a while because you expect there to be a cursor, but it doesn't. It just does it automatically. Yeah, okay then. So, Dominic, you come around, you see Obadiah there. And old Pete and Felix, what would you like to do?
Clean my blade and leave the room.
Are you turning the flame off?
Yes.
Okay then, yeah.
And my piggy snout butane to off.
Felix is going to go and see Obadiah and say, We saw spiders. 2 big ones. Oh, Peter and I killed them.
We're looking for a kid.
But
Yeah,
there are spiders in them.
as old Pete comes out, he's just sort of like pulling off the odd spider leg, that is still phasing in and out. And he just sort of like puts it by and says, killed spiders.
It's not in that room. Just spiders in that room. But as I said, we killed them.
Dead spiders.
Yeah, that is correct. Definitely.
We saw a skeleton writing a scroll. I don't know what else was in that room because I got in there and all I could do was skeleton writing a scroll, and then Obadiah ran off to help you, but you killed the spiders.
Did you smash the skeleton?
On
No, it's
hearing that,
still-
Felix is legging it into
still there.
into the skeleton room.
Still there writing in a scroll.
Okay, so Felix runs off in a different direction. And you can see that was previously spoken about. Old Peter, Obadiah, and Dominic, what would you like to do?
Check a new door.
Okay, so what would you like to do with the door?
I just approach it with my flame tongue equipped still, but deactivated, kind of wiping blood off on my pant leg, and then I will open the door.
Excellent. Okay, Obadiah and Dominic, what would you like to do?
Obadiah wants to go down to the door down from the one that old Pete's going to, but he wants to listen at it first.
Okay, and what about you, Dominic?
Dominic, knowing that old Peter and him took out the beholder, he will move behind old Peter and wait for his move.
Okay then, so Felix, you sort of like dash down the corridor, taking a dash action, and you end up in the room with the skeleton scribing away. What would you like to do?
He's just going to look at it and go, "This is amazing."
Okay.
And then after looking at it, he's going to leave the room.
Okay, so you'll still be, you can start moving back at the end of this round. So, Obadiah, perception check from you, please. And old Pete, you're opening this room, this door, aren't you? Yeah?
Correct.
Got a natural 20.
Excellent.
That's 20, lovely.
Right. So you open the door, and almost like in here there seems to be an old laundry room. There's a bench that runs along the southern wall that you can see, and there's a large stirring pot in this thing that seems to be full of some kind of liquid. And there's what appears to be like a ghostly apparition of what appears to be like a cleaning woman, and she's sort of like, she has this long stick or pole that is inside the sort of like container, and she's whooshing it around, and you can almost like hear the whooshing around of water, old Pete, but from where you are, it actually looks like the cauldron or the pot is absolutely empty. Obadiah, you can't hear anything from inside this room. Felix, you can start, if you're taking a dash action, then you can you move your maximum movement. And Obadiah, old Pete, what would you like to do?
I'm going to shrug at the ghost and move on to the next door down.
Okay, cool. So move your movement. And Obadiah, what would you like to do?
He's good to open the door.
Yeah.
Does it push inwards, does it?
It looks like a normal door would do.
He's gonna push it inwards, but he's not gonna try to sort of like silhouette himself in the door.
Yeah.
Frame. You know what I mean?
It's you notice that the green sort of like ectoplasm stuff seems to go into this room. It seems to be a rather dilapidated guest room, similar to the one that old Pete and Felix were in before. The bed is all rotten, and there's quite a musky smell in here.
There's cobwebs in it.
No, it doesn't look like it. Dominic, what would you like to do?
I will. Oh, where's she gone? Sorry, my map's playing up really, really bad. I want to follow behind old Pete wherever old Pete's gone. Oh, thank you for that thing. Okay,
cool. So can you see opposite behind you there, Dominic? That is a double door. It's not two single doors. Felix, you can move your action again. Obadiah, what would you like to do?
There's no sign of a kid in here that we came to find. So
no,
he's gonna close the door.
Okay then. Do you wish to use your movement at all?
If he can, he will head down to these double doors.
Yeah, you can do that. Okay. Yes, old Pete, what would you like to do?
Use door, activate and open.
Okay then. So let me just open, reveal this room for you. Okay, you should be able to see it now. There's there appears. Can you see on just? We'll just move you into the door frame there, so you can see around the corner. You can see that there appears to be a large washing tub up on the northern wall, and what appears to be benches stretching round the bottom. As you enter, it looks to be like an old washroom. However, you first notice that there's a bloodied towel hanging on a towel rack. The wash tub along the northern wall looks empty. And then you suddenly notice that there's a naked female body lying in the empty tub. And you can see that she seems to have sliced her wrists, not crosswards across them, but up them. And you can see that the last sort of like beat of the heart is sort of like pumping blood out of it.
You okay, miss? I'll call out loud enough that anybody around me could hear that I'm talking to a lady of some sort. Such as a cleric behind me.
What, who is it in there? Is it a woman in the tub? I'll squeeze past. Sorry.
What a guess.
I was distracted. Sorry. I will look at the woman in the tub, and could I use? Let's have a look. What skills? Is it kind of an arcana check to make sure it's real, or a religion? Because if she's in the tub, and is she bleeding out now, or is she?
Yeah, she's definitely bleeding out. You can see the blood. She's almost like lying back, and her hands and arms are sort of like balanced on the edge of the tub, and the blood's just going, and her head's rocked back with her mouth open.
Okay, well, the first thing I'll do, I will cast my heal cure wounds, isn't it? Which is my level 1 spell on this lady.
Cure wounds, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, so that requires touch, I think.
Right, so I'll move over and I will touch her hand.
Okay, so move yourself up there.
Tub. And I will grab a hand on the bleeding wrist. And I will hold it and I'll pray to my God. And I'll say, cure this woman. I will cast. However I cast it. Cure wounds.
Yeah,
I'll do
cool.
a 1d8 plus my spellcasting ability modifier. Oh, that's what it is. Sorry. No, that's not a weapon. Oh, God, I'm so sorry, guys.
I'll forgive you.
Oh, it's my turn. Oh, it's my turn.
Sorry, I was just resetting there.
Medivac.
Yeah, huh?
There should be, if you go onto your actions, cure wounds, there should be a plus sign. You can click and drag that into the chat.
I don't have a plus sign. All I've got on my cure wounds is a spyglass and
But immediately, so you've got cure wounds, the box ends, then immediately you should have a box with a plus on it. And then if you go along further, you'll have a magnifying glass and then the eye symbol. So like it'll be under spell level 1.
No, I've got cure wounds, spells, spyglass, information.
So you're going to heal 1d8 plus 4.
Just roll a d8. Just roll a d8 into the.
D8 plus 4, right.
And then add 4 onto it.
It's D8.
Can you see the plus? Can you see where it says heal underneath your cure light wounds? Can you see it says cure wounds 1 spells, and then there's a little magnifying glass after it. If you hit,
I see. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
and then if you just hit, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do 10 points of healing damage
I lose 1 slot.
on this. As this aberration comes to life and goes, it sort of like screams at you and sort of like heads, reaches out its hands to you and sort of like ready to grab you. Let's have some initiative, please, guys. Thank you for replenishing my hit points. It's a good... Are we all done?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Did you get a 5, Obadiah?
Dominic got 4.
I've just been going.
Yeah. Okay then.
So don't start on me.
I don't know how you reset. Right, there we go. And then if I just put that down as round 1. Okay then. So Felix, you are up. You'll carry on making your movement down. And then it comes to the apparition. Okay then. So let me target the cleric. And
But I healed you.
Okay then. Can you please make a wisdom saving throw? Your DC is 13, so you need to get 13 or above. 14, yeah. She sort of like goes, bah! Like that, and you sort of like feel yourself panic for a second as she sort of like screams at you, but you sort of like hold your ground, and as
I tried to heal you.
And we move on to old Pete.
For my bonus action, seeing that a friend is in trouble for trying to help somebody, and that makes me very angry. I'm not going into a rage, but that makes me angry. I'm going to say, Piggy Snout Butane, activating my sword for my bonus action. Then I'll move and attack this mean, ungrateful person.
Cool. So you're going to attack that. There you go. Right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Roll some damage. It's a roll to hit, sorry, first.
Yeah. I guess I'm not doing reckless
Oh! Critical hit! Critical hit! Okay, so roll your damage.
Roll damage.
What does it do?
Doesn't it do max damage?
I don't
It gave me 2 dice automatically.
Yeah, double damage, yeah.
Double damage, yeah.
So that's 17 points of damage that
Plus
it
fire,
did to it.
if it's applicable, of 9.
Yeah, so you
That doubles, is it?
you strike at this this creature, and you sort of like go straight through it, and you notice that it does cut it, but you don't see the singeing of the flesh that you've seen in previous battles. You figure it's probably immune to that, the fire in any case. Obadiah, you're up.
So just a quick question: what game was it when if you cast a cure spell on was it something that it did opposite?
Yeah, that's
Pathfinder does that. If you cast a good thing on something evil, it damages it, and vice versa.
Yeah. So yeah, Obadiah, you're up.
I'm going to open these doors.
You can definitely hear that there's combat going on in the other room, and you heard the demonic scream. As you
in which case, he's going to head over this way, and as he's doing so, he's going to unsling his crossbow.
Okay, and bonus action.
And can I put a bolt in it? As a bonus
it's classed that there's no reload, so it's classed that you've got it out and loaded it. That's not a problem.
Okay, what can I do as a bonus action?
Anything that has bonus action next to it on your class sheet. So any of your abilities, it will say whether or not you can do.
All right, nothing then.
Okay, so yeah. Okay then, cool. Okay then, and Dominic, you are up.
Dominic will, feeling that this thing tried to attack him and kill him. He is going to back away.
Okay.
and then he's going to cast Shield of Faith. His level 1 spell, which will give him an AC 2 plus bonus. So he'll move. Does attack of opportunity in this or
Yeah,
not?
I certainly do. That's what I'm about to roll for you.
Pooey pancakes. Yeah, well, I'll still do
I
it.
get I get a 14. What's your armor class?
My armor class, funny enough, as you should mention it, is 15.
Yes. Oh, that
In
was
your face.
that was so close.
Oh no, can you smell my pants?
Yeah.
And then I will cast my Armor of Faith, please.
Okay. Yeah. So what?
That gives you a +2 AC, which I shall do. 2 Shakespeare with me.
Cool. Okay then. Yeah, and that's the end of that round, I think. So, thank you, the person who just
Sorry, I clicked the button by mistake. Sorry.
you just healed. Cool.
How can you click that button by mistake?
Okay, Felix.
There's always one.
Felix, you're up.
Healing the combat
Yeah.
is going to move into the room.
Yeah.
And then he is going. Oh no, wrong button. Is going. Do I want to do the spell?
Who are you attacking?
I was going to cast. Hang on, is that the spell I want to use before I do anything? Yeah, he's going to cast Bane at the ghost woman thing.
Okay, cool.
So you need to make a charisma saving throw.
Okay. So hang on, let me just get this right. Oh, what did you say? Sorry, wisdom.
So a charisma saving throw.
Charisma, cool.
If it's failed, then whenever you make an attack roll or saving throw before the spell ends, the target must roll a 1d4.
Okay, so hang on. Let's. Is this this is a saving throw, isn't it?
It is.
Yes. 9.
Oh, is it against my
It's against your spell DC.
spell DC would be my charisma, isn't it? For a bard. It's so it's failed because my charisma DC is a 14.
Okay, cool. So yeah, do I take damage?
No. So but whenever you make a roll to attack or a saving throw,
Yeah.
roll a 1d4 and subtract that from whatever it is you're going to roll.
Oh, cool. Very nice. Yeah. Okay then. That's very nice. Okay then. So it goes on to me now, and this is let me just get rid of that because I want to target Mr. Whatchamacallit. I wonder if how
Mr. Peters.
I want to add I wonder how I can oh hang on, effects, which is there. Do we have one for Bane? No. Okay then, so I can't do that, so I'll just remember to do it.
I'll try to remind you as well.
Yeah, it's all right. Right, so this is attack coming at you, Mr. Peters. 18 minus, what do I roll? A 1d4?
1d4.
15.
Well, my AC is an 18.
Yeah, so that misses. So it would have hit you if it wasn't for the Bane spell. Yeah. Okay then. So that's its turn over. So yeah, old Peter, we're back to you. You've got the
let's see.
aberration targeted, yeah.
I'm gonna just keep it at 2 attacks. And I can't use my relentless attack. I'm not raging, so I'm just gonna do the first attack.
Okay,
Here.
cool.
Oh.
That misses.
Gross. All right, second try. We're swinging again. Closer.
Yeah, that hits with a 16.
Yeah. And I'm gonna take. You don't want me to roll my 2d6 for fire?
No, because they're actually
Okay.
immune to it. So
Makes it easier for me.
yeah. Okay then. And so next we are up to you, Obadiah.
Obadiah's going to fire a crossbow bolt at this thing.
Okay. Right. Yeah. All targeted. Ready.
Nine. That's not good.
It misses. It should. Can you see it on the? Yeah. It misses.
I
Yeah.
say missed. I just say 9. That's not good.
Yeah. Sorry. Dominic, you're up.
Okay, because my shield is a concentration, I shall drop it and I shall cast Sacred Flame on her.
Okay. Cool. Don't forget to take spell levels off, etc.
Oh, it's a cantrip, sorry.
Oh, is it? Oh, cool. That's all right then.
Which does, if it hits, must take a successful dexterity save. You must make a dex save to resist.
Okay.
Or take 1d8 damage.
Okay. Dex save. Here we go. 10.
You need to do your minus 1d4 as well, because it's for saving throws as long as I'm maintaining my spell.
So 7. I think the 10 wouldn't have succeeded in any case.
No, so it's 1d8, isn't it? You take damage.
Yeah. So you've got me targeted. So if you do it, it should come off. 5 points of damage. Yeah. So.
Yep.
Excellent. Yeah. So back up to you, Felix.
Felix is maintaining his Bane spell.
Okay. Cool. And now aberration comes next. So this will be an attack at you. What's that?
Yeah, this guy.
Right. So this is my that's my attack. It'll miss you in any case. So because it's missed in any case. So yeah, Peter.
All right, attack 1 of 2. We're gonna slap this down and not miss this time. Nice. So 25.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it does say hit. I didn't even have to ask. Rolling good damage. That's my max damage.
Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah, it's pretty well beaten up. Do you have another attack to come yet?
Don't forget the fire.
Yes, I do.
No.
Fire didn't do anything.
The fire doesn't work, does it?
No.
Second attempt. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty darn decent. Did it not go on the table? It didn't?
No, nothing happened here.
It was an 18, too. Dang it.
That still hits with a 14.
Get on the table. That's what I gotta do.
7 points of damage. Yeah, it's still up. Just. Yeah. Obadiah.
Do I have a reload on this?
No.
No. Okay, here we go.
Oh, Pete, you just see this crossbow bolt go.
No.
Might have shot it feather first.
And Dominic, you are up.
Sacred Flame again, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind at all.
Yep. If you want to take a dex save.
Here's my dex save coming in, and then I'll take away 1d4. 14, and then 11.
If you didn't save, that's 6 damage.
Well, you need to tell me if I didn't save or not, because I don't know what.
The save is my it's my wisdom, isn't it?
If you hit the little magnifying glass underneath the spell you're casting, it will come up with your save.
Should be 8 plus proficiency plus
I-
wisdom.
yeah. So it's. Can you see? It says save.
Oh, DC 15, yes. Sorry.
DC 15. Yeah.
Yep. Fantastic. Oh, I can just click a button there rather than rolling dice, can't I?
Yeah.
No,
That's fine. Yeah. So
you sure?
yeah. No. So the apparition.
Thank you, Longshanks.
Slowly seems to become more and more intangible, and slowly sort of like as you kill the final bit of sacred flame removes its 1 hit point that it had, and the creature sinks away and just
Dominic
sort of
says,
like
"The lady giveth and she taketh away."
disappears. Just out of interest, I was so looking forward to one of those attacks hitting, because let me just
One of my
find.
attacks.
No, one of its attacks.
Oh, right.
Withering touch.
Yeah, its withering touch actually does.
It's not level thing, is it?
Hang on, let me just bring it back into the combat tracker. So it actually does, if I can actually find it. But it actually does a grand total of 4d6s plus 3. So, for example, that would have been 17 on an attack. So it was quite lucky that you that nobody got hit.
You're welcome, old Pete.
That would be okay. So So let's just how are we doing with spell levels, guys?
Mine are fine.
I'm down to 2 level 1s, 1 level 2, 1 level 3.
Cool.
I've got 2 level 3s left out of my 2. I've got 1 level 2 out of my 3 level 2s, and I've got 1 first level spell out of my 4.
This is one thing you don't realise. Well, you do realise, but you don't think of in D&D is you've got to use your spells very sparingly.
And the last magic character I played was in Shadowrun, and you could just blast as many spells as you want until you died.
Just on a side note, was that picture of that woman there the same one that was in Mithras in the trees?
No, it's a different platform. You can see there's a handprint. There was that handprint on the that you saw on the towel. Can you see it now?
Oh,
Goodness.
Yes, indeed.
That's the bloody mark on the towel rack, which you can now see from that. So let me just now get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that party thing, and then we take. Don't save me. And put it in there, and award that. There you go. Yeah. Apart from that, there is nothing else in this room.
Obadiah's going to put his crossbow back across his back, saying he didn't get to use it.
Dominic's going to go to old Pete and say, and this is why I don't heal people.
Yeah.
Well, they're darn ungrateful. I can see why.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
Yeah. Apart from that, there's nothing else in this room. So Obadiah, move your characters in the appropriate places. Remember, you can move through old Peach. You can just, that's it. Yeah. Yes, Obadiah. What would you like to do?
I want to listen at this door before opening it.
Okay, cool. Make a perception check. Yeah, you can't hear anything.
Back
Oh well,
to my sub 10.
if anything, there's almost like a like that.
From
And it's not me, okay?
from behind the door, does it sound like it's coming?
Yeah, it's almost, you think it. Okay, this is going to sound really strange, but it sounds almost like there's sausages being cooked. There's no smell or anything.
We're sizzling, not a snaky sis.
He's going to push open the door.
Yeah, okay then. Let me just reveal what's in here. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Is this from a kitchen?
yeah, it
And
is.
is it like a hot plate?
Yeah, so it's obviously
fire pit below
a kitchen, and there's a hot plate with a fire pit below it. You can see that to the south of you. Although it doesn't look like it's been used for a long time. There is a bench on the southern wall as well, and wooden cupboards are fixed about head height on all sides. There's pots and pans and knives and cups are dulled and tarnished all over the place. Some of them are hanging from hooks, some of them are in the cupboard, and along the southern wall there's a hole in the floor. The hot plate is on the eastern wall. That thing at the bottom is a hole in the floor that you think was probably used like a dumb waiter to sort of like go up and down, probably to the kitchen or the dining room below. You think it might have come through into that room. You know that little cupboard that you went into, old Pete? It looks like it.
Yes.
Yes.
I do. I had to look up.
Yeah, it might have sort of like, it looked like it might go in there.
Would you say it would be big enough for a medium person to fit through?
Yeah. You can also see across the on the hot plate, not actually on the hot plate, but just to one side, there's a what appears to be a small coffer, a small chest. It looks, from where you are, Obadiah, it looks very well made. And although the rest of the place looks quite dull and unused, this one it looks very new.
Obadiah sort of like, his thin lips almost turn into a smile, and he'll turn around and say to Felix, "There's treasure in here."
Ooh.
Dominic will put his hand on Obadiah's shoulder and say, but there's no boy.
Oh, but there's treasure, there's riches.
Well, you grab the treasure. We'll keep looking
No.
for the boy.
Can't we
It
leave
sounds
the trip and come back?
Felix, that sounds really tempting. Because you have been sort of like diving into places, I believe.
I know.
So yeah, and Obadiah sort of like mentioned it, and you sort of like think, oh, very nice.
But Felix is more burning to see what's behind the next door. Because if there's treasure in one room, there's treasure in two rooms. In Felix's mind.
Okay, so do you want to go down and check this door?
Well, he won't check.
Should we close these doors first?
He'll just walk straight through.
Okay then, you can walk.
Close these double doors first. Yeah.
Because once you've had a look in this room, you can go. So this seems to be some kind of room, and some kind of what appears to be like a servant's quarters. And as you go up to the door and open it, quite in a blasé fashion, you open the door, and as Felix opens it, old Pete, you hear from behind the door what appears to be the sound of thumping, and you sort of like trig this, and you're just about to say something when Felix, with gay abandon, just opens the door. Right, let's just do this. Get rid of that. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to delete item. Yeah. Can we please roll some initiatives?
No.
Get in with an at 20 on the initiative.
Come on, give me special. Oh, not 20. Get in there.
Yeah. Cool. So I think.
I got 5.
Yeah. Right. So you can see in this room seems to be sort of like some. They look, Felix, very much like ghouls. That you've heard about them, and the bumping and the sound of battle, that you will not battle, the thing that you heard, old Pete, were they just seem to be wrecking this joint, but as we come in, then what happens is that they obviously stop. And as we go into combat, and Mr. Felix, you are first.
Yeah, I'm just checking something. And
I dropped my pen lid. I picked it up. Well, it's just for people who would actually were watching, and then all of a sudden I just disappeared, and they might have think
I have picked up my plate and I put it down.
Felix is going to cast Bane again, because it's worked well on him for him in the past.
Yeah, cool.
That's what I've got to do. So up to 3 creatures of your choice. So that's all 3 of them. Must make charisma saving throws. So if I roll 3 charisma, can I roll 3 charisma saving throws?
No, I do. Yeah, I'll do. I'll do. Is the range?
My range is
30 foot. I seem to remember.
It is, yes.
Yeah. What am I doing? Charisma's saving throws.
So I'll probably move into them a little bit.
So this is smelly psycho with claws. Let me just make sure. Right, charisma saving throws. 16.
So 1 passes.
7.
Fails.
And 0.
Fails.
So cool. Okay then. Is there anything else you wish to do?
No, because I'm concentrating on the spell.
Okay then. So smelly psycho with claws 1 goes first. 5, 10, he will move up to here. He will target you, and it will do his claw attack first. That hits you.
Do I have to roll my concentration thing first? Because it's attacking me. So I would have thought I would drop the spell if I fail it.
Yeah, it's this is the one that has succeeded in any case. So it's the other two. Can you see the one with the long tongue out?
Yeah,
Yeah. So this. Yeah, so you've taken 6 points of damage. Can you make a Constitution save, please? DC of 10. Yeah, so it sort of like rakes its claws across you, and you almost like feel it sort of like penetrate into your skin, and you feel it sort of like tingle as it goes through it. Dominic, you're up.
Right, Dominic, seeing these horrible, hideous abominations running towards Felix, will cast his spirit. In fact, what he's going to do is he's going to move into the room, and then he's going to cast his spirit guardian.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So cast.
Bloody hell, how did the stuff came up then?
What's that? Cast? That's right, isn't it?
So success, fail, and fail. So one of them succeeded. So the one right next to Felix, that succeeded. The other two failed.
Yep. In fact, they're out of range, aren't they? It's 15 feet.
Yeah. Did you not? Did you? The other two are 20 foot out. Okay.
That's right, they're 20 foot out. Yep.
Yeah. So the this one succeeded with the 16. So anything else that you would like to do on your action?
No, that is it. I will just start praying to my God.
Okay.
And be tight in the corner.
So
I'll concentrate.
this one will move up, and it will rake its claws over Mr. It does a hit, 20, but it's not natural. This is your damage of 9 points. And can you make a Constitution saving throw? That DC is 10, so that's so this one sort of like rakes it across you, and you sort of like feel it sort of like dig into you, and then you suddenly feel this tingling just spread through your body, and you just feel yourself slowly seizing up and slowly becoming paralyzed. This one comes up to you, Mr. Dominic.
Say it ain't so.
And
Oh no.
it just
21.
it hits and does 8 points of damage. Constitution saving throw, please.
Certainly. Con.
Yeah, you save. So you feel it coming across you, but you don't
My
do
faith
any
is
damage.
strong.
Yeah, old Pete, you're up.
Am I able to occupy the same square as somebody who's paralyzed on the floor? Or would they still be occupying it?
They're still occupying it. If you do wish to stand on the same square, then you'll be rolling at disadvantage because you have to fight with him round your feet. Alternatively, you could move through his square and end up I'll move you back, but end up here.
Okay, you don't have to move me back. That's actually
But
what I'd like to
remember-
do.
Target of opportunity.
Yes.
That
Yeah, because you'll both pass through the first one with Felix in, and you're moving out of that one to get to where you are. So you will pass through my attack thing.
2 of them.
That's right.
Yeah, you get 2 attacks.
Yep. So are you still happy to do it?
Use a flaming sword, Luke.
Yeah, I may as well. Yeah, give me some opportunity attacks. Let's see if I can burn my way through this crowd
Okay.
afterward.
Let me just. So that is that is actually this one first. So let's do that one. So this is its attack, and I hit you,
Okay. Okay, good.
and 5 points of damage from that one.
You want a Constitution?
Yeah, please.
Save me, Constitution.
Yeah, that's fine. And then the other one will hit you again for 9 points damage, and yeah, another Constitution.
Big money.
Yes. Oh, you're built like a tank. You are. Yeah. Oh, you are a tank. Which one would you like? You're there now, so you can do your attack. Which one would you like to attack?
First off, bonus action for Fire Sword to activate.
Okay.
Piggy Snout Butane, and then I'm going to be slapping, for your convenience, the one that's north of my guy, so that we can get it down to just 2 different ghouls.
So that is number 1. So let's target you like that. Yeah. Okay, go for it.
I'm not going to use Reckless Attack, but I do still have 2 attacks otherwise, so I'm going to do my first one.
Okay, cool.
Right here.
25 hits.
That's some big money. Let's do the regular damage plus fire damage equals 15 total.
15.
Second attack.
Yep.
Dirty ghoul.
Oh, nice critical hit.
Yeah. All right.
So
let's get this.
So do your damage. It'll roll it twice and add it on.
I didn't grab 2 dice, but
Then
I'm just gonna...
it does automatically critically.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
I threw 2 dice.
That's 16 points. Yeah, and then you got your
Some fire.
yeah. Another 7.
Spanking this
Oops.
ghoul. Don't touch my friends.
That actually kills it.
And this is when you realise you've been hitting it with the flat of the blade the entire time.
Yes, and
Still do all this damage.
and Obadiah.
I like how I get a noise to let me know. I could do other things.
Yeah, you can just walk away and then suddenly come back.
Get a chest.
Yeah. Obadiah's going to unsling his crossbow. Can he fire it as well, or?
Yeah, you can load it up as a bonus action, I think.
Okay. So can he? Can I
Yeah,
fire?
you can fire, but only at the ones.
Yeah.
Hang on, then. Let me just get you targeted, because we need to target you onto that one.
Don't
Yeah.
really matter, 'cause I'll probably miss.
Okay, go for it. Oh, you hit! You hit with a 12!
Go on. Do I just drag that across now?
4 points of damage. You've wounded it. You've wounded it. Okay, then. Back up to the top. Felix, you are paralyzed. And this one now sinks it's on. It actually gets advantage on you now because you're paralyzed. So then do. Oh, sorry, that's my damage. That's wrong. that hit. Yeah, so you'll take. I think it's taken it off already. You've taken 6 points of damage. Yeah.
Okay, I'll add that in because it's not.
That was to me, wasn't it? I see 18 towards
Oh,
old Peter.
yeah. So hang on. Just sorry. That's my fault. Yeah. So if you just add 6 back on to your hit points.
There we go.
Yeah, and then did you take it off yours, Felix?
I'm about to.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah. So it'd be 21 wounds.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay then, and then we go on to Dominique.
Right, I need to make a concentration check, which I should have made last turn, but it's applicable for this turn anyway.
Okay.
Because you hit me, didn't I? So,
Yeah.
sorry. That's wisdom, isn't it? Against DC 10.
Yep.
So, you want one of those first.
Which succeeds. That's cool.
Fantastic. So now you get the full force of those two are going to get my guardian spirit, which
Cool.
is going to be necrotic or radiant. Let's have a look. Radiant, please, isn't it?
Spirit Guardians is this? Yeah.
I'm going for radiant because it's against evil. So
So that's a 15-foot radius from you, isn't it?
yeah, that's right. The
Yeah.
new 3d8. Why is that rolled? Is that 3d8 is rolled? Yes.
So you can designate any number of creatures you can see to be unaffected by it. So I'm assuming that you're sort of like picking your party members.
That's right, yeah.
An effective creature's speed is halved in the area, and when the creature enters the area for the first time in its turn, it must make a wisdom saving throw. Yeah, and then 3d8.
That's right.
So you've done your 3d8
Yep.
already. So hang on, let me do some saving throws, because otherwise I won't be taking that. That one failed on a 1. I assume that is a fail.
That's a fail.
Yeah, and this one, wisdom saving throw, is an 11.
Why isn't it showing my DC? Oh, it was DC 15.
Yeah, so that fails as well. So, did it take it? Yeah, it damaged. Oh, hang on, it damaged one of them, but it certainly did not damage the other one. How much damage did you do? Sorry,
I did
11.
11. So that one, that's the one with the sticky out tongue. That's 11, which takes it up to 26, which will kill that one. And then this one, how much did you do, sorry?
11 again.
11, that will take that up to that. Okay, yeah, and it's still up. Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
In fact, no, I was going to move out of the way, but I won't because I'll get a target. So.
I'll have a tackle of opportunity.
Oh, you will indeed.
I will indeedy. So yeah, so this one will attack you now, Mr. Dominic. Automatic miss.
Oh no.
No, I automatically missed you.
I know.
I don't know why. What did I roll? It didn't.
Natural
Rolled in
one.
that one.
Did I? Oh, bless him. Old Peter.
Move forward. Sword still blazing. Gonna slam my sword down.
Okay, hang on, because I just need to change your target.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, go for it.
And slam number 1. Rolling that. Nice.
That is hit. Yeah.
Damage and
Yeah.
non-mundane fire damage.
Yeah, just let me add that. Yeah,
Thank
cool.
you.
Next one.
And my final fight. And just as a little side note, because we asked the wizards what they're doing, I have 1 rage left in my spell slots.
Oh, cool.
I'm saving it.
You're saving it. I need some D6s to kill it. Yeah, and that actually will kill it. Delete item. There you go. So apart from that, this room is empty. And I think, just to let you know, they seem to just be sort of like whooshing around the place. You do notice that there's some human excrement in this place, it looks like, and there's 2 doors down the eastern wall. And I think because it's 20 to 11 and I know we don't work past 10:30, but I just wanted to get that finished. So we will leave it there. Obadiah's managed to hit something with his crossbow bolt. We've got some rather injured people at the moment. I think Felix has got 7 hit points left.
And he's paralysed.
That is only lasting a minute, so it'll wear off. Dominic, you have got
8 off.
Yes, 9 off. You got 19 wounds, so you got 9 left. And then old Peter, you've got 18 out of 4. Yay! It's a donation! A donation! Thank you, Vaniel. A tip for 20.
Work on your streams.
Oh, bless you. Keep up the nice work on your stream. £25 there from Van Eel. Thank you so much for that. That was totally unexpected. It now means I can turn my heating on. No, it doesn't. Thank you so much for that.
Rock the slaves.
I really do appreciate it. Yes, spam those eyes in the chat. If you don't have the emoticon for SS, then just do normal eyes. Let me just play my thank you very much music.
Thank you very much for repairing my tire.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much for the loan of your dryer. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much. You're 1 in a million. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much for feeding William. Thank you very, 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 very,
supporting the channel.
Thank you so much, and we will leave it there.
Take the money and run.
Run! Excellent. Okay then. Any announcements, Mr. Pickles?
I'm going to be streaming later today, and it's going to be in the 1995 era of gaming still, and that's what I'm doing in approximately an hour and 18 minutes. So
What you doing, Si?
sleep.
What you doing?
I'm playing a game called Shivers. It's a 1995 game by Sierra. It's point-and-click adventure. I'm just playing a lot of point-and-click adventure games.
Fantastic. Sounds wonderful.
I will come and watch. I'll be awake at that time.
Okay. Anybody else got any announcements to make?
Yes, I have. I'm a real boy.
That is wrong on so many levels. Can I just say? So many levels. Okay, guys. Thank you for coming along and watching our Dungeons and Dragons game tonight. I hope you really enjoyed it. We will see what goes on in the next adventure to see whether or not they can solve the mystery of the ghostly manor. Thank you, Uncanny Adventures, for that 100 bits. You are a legend. Thank you so much. Okay, and thank you very much. I'd like to end this tonight's adventure just to say, please remember to be who you are and say what you think, because the people who mind don't matter, and the people who matter don't mind. Have fun, guys, and we will see you all later. And until then, happy gaming. See ya. Bye.
Bye-bye.